what do we have? So this is a fun thing, because then you just... A gay wedding that took place last night! Oh, it wasn't a gay wedding. It was between Charles and Rebecca. Never mind. Hey, I'm holding Moth Girl? Oh god. Oh, no. I don't want to hold this goddamn Furby. Get this Furby out of me. Off of me. Is the Furby in my fanny pack? God, what a horrible 90s thing to say. Get it out of me. Get it out. I have a Furby in my fanny pack. Visit the animals. Hi, pigs. Hi, sheep. Why is there a pig with the sheep? Someone put the pig in wrong. If you're looking into a way to bring someone back from the dead, does that mean you've got someone you want to bring back? You know what? Forget it. It just came to mind, so I thought I'd ask. I didn't mean to pry, sorry. I just want to check and make sure you didn't have an ex-boyfriend you're trying to bring back from the dead, you know, before we get too far into this. No, it's fine. I figured I need to tell you at some point. It's Ogopogo. She does want to bring back her pet. Ogopogo? Yeah, I want to bring Ogopogo back to life. He died in an accident about a month ago. Ogopogo died? Oh right, Ogopogo was my dog. I had him for 8 years. Ah, okay, your dog. Gotcha. Yeah, her boyfriend, Ogopogo. He was a little worried. You spent a long time together. Losing him must have been really hard for you. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure if the right even works on dogs. But as soon as I found out about it, I knew I had to give it a try. I don't think I could forgive myself if I just let the opportunity pass by. Definitely. Now I understand why you feel so strongly about it. Thanks for telling me. I know this must be hard to talk about. But you know what? All that led me to meeting you. So at least something good came out of it. Though that doesn't mean I'll stop looking, obviously. Unless you want to be my dog. Yoko, I'll do everything I can to help you. Hey, you're the novelist? Why do you look like a detective? You mean I'm the detective in my little, like, boat hat? And you're the novelist? There's no way. Yeah, and it looks like Sherlock. How is he not how is he just the novelist? How am I the detective? There's no way there's no way. No way, you're the detective. I'm a detective enough to know that you're a detective. Just look at you. Just look at you, buddy. I know a detective when I see one, and this man is a detective. 3 nuts are placed on the hearth. Each is named after a lover. 3 nuts? A love triangle. Wow, all of modern shipping culture really did come from this singular page of the Evening Public Ledger. Each is named after a lover. If one cracks, he will be unfaithful. Oh wait, one person has 3 lovers? What? Like if you're choosing between 3 guys, is this like a dating sim, but with chestnuts? A chestnut dating sim? If one cracks, he will be unfaithful. If one burns, he will be faithful, etc. What do you mean, etc.? There's 2 options. What are the other options? If I steal a goat? Like, just like, what if? Can I take the goat? Like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this goat now. Like, you gonna stop me? The fence will, though. What if I just run away with the goat? What if I just do it? Goat napper, yep. Well, but I already saved 1 goat, so now I take a goat. That's the way it is. Just like I told Paul. It's a keepsake. Keepsake. Souvenir goat. You always have to— ooh, it's water. I can't go through the water or my goat will drown. Goat, we're almost there. I'm back. House with a souvenir goat. You can live with my chickens. Yeah. Black goatling. Oh, yay. How exciting. I think he needs a friend, but I think we just need to get a friend from another world.
another land or wherever we're going. We gotta get a souvenir goat from every place.
Okay, so we just have two dudes here. You're not useful to me at all. Oh my gosh, there's no girls here either. You'd be kidding me. Okay. Here's some ladies. Hello. Oh, you're not a person. Okay. You're not super, like, cool looking, but that's fine. Oh, she's 29. I can't even... No. Why are they not giving me any girls? No maidens! I am maidenless.
Hello, hello. Chibi model jump scare. These jump scared me. Anyway, this is my little chibi model. Look, it has movement to it. If you lean really far, isn't it cute? That's about it. I put the link for where it came from in my about section on my page. So if you're curious where it came from, that's where it is. It's a customizable pre-built I purchase, daily customizable model. It's pretty customized. I mean, like as far as like, chibi customizations go. And it's $17. It is $17. So that's pretty nice, really. Can't complain. Can't complain. It's super cute. And I'm sure it's probably better when why are there so many noisy people outside today? There are like children out there screaming. Ignore the screaming children, please. Um, they're not for you. Um, but okay. Um, their mom's yelling at them and calling them idiots, I think. Um, but anyway, yeah, I think um mm, because I got this, I completely honest, I completely copied. I'm honest when I copy stuff, man. You know where like I get my bingo stuff from, like bingo inspiration is from Tom out Insanity Live. And this I saw Giwi was had a little chibi model like this, and I was like, it's cute. Hers is way cuter than mine, though. You should go back and check out the stream where she used it, in her VODs. Hers was way cuter than mine, like just being completely real. So I know you can do really cool stuff with this model, if you like, take it out and do custom textures and stuff like that. I also didn't put a whole lot of effort into this. My hey Trunk Monkey. Yeah, isn't it cute? I guess I was saying this isn't as nice as it can be. Um, I copied Giwi because in getting this because Giwi had a model. If anyone watches her, she's a VTuber. She's really cool. You should check her out. And so I saw her had this model. I'm like, wait, that's actually a really cute model. So then I got it. Like I said, I always like to point out where I get my stuff from, my inspirations. And the link to this is in my about page, or the about section on my channel page about me. So and the link is there. The link is there. You can check it out. $17 for customizable chibi model, which isn't bad, but I can look a lot cooler. Go out and get back and check Giwi's VOD where she showed off her GB model, and it's the same model, but hers is way cuter than mine. So I know you can do really cool stuff with it. Um, I just can't. Or also I didn't because I didn't put a lot of time into it because I didn't like do any custom textures or anything like that, and I know you can. And because my Suika model I put like somewhere between 5 to 10 hours on working on it. Um, just because there were a lot of customizable features and I was trying to make it more original. I didn't really put too much effort into making this one original because like Chibi's Chibi, like you're not gonna uh like make anything too crazy unique with the style. It's a kind of very specific style. So I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Um, but also because I just didn't really care a whole lot. Like it's fine, good enough. One thing about this model that is super, super cute, it's one of my favorite things, and it's not something like you'd see very often, so now's the chance to see it, is when I lean, it kind of moves, like, look. It's so cute. I have to lean like really far, I mean, I could change the parameters so I don't have to lean that far, but anytime I would really use it though, it would like, the legs would be hidden anyway, so like below the screen, so it doesn't matter. But still, it's super, super cute. Anyway, anyway, we're gonna watch Fairy Tale Theater here in a second. Um, so yes, that's the deal with the Chibi model. $17. Not bad, not bad. Pretty customizable, all things considered. Considering the price tag and also the like. Oh, and it also comes with oh, I don't, because I'm not sure how to like uh like like copy all of the, because it has like several different versions of the model, and it has ones that have like keyboard tracking and mouse tracking and stuff like that, and controller tracking too. There's like one where I'm holding like a controller, there's one where I have a keyboard in front of me, and there's one that has like a half keyboard and then like mouse tracking trackpad. Um, and that's like kind of cool. Um, so yeah, that's neat. I was like, maybe I would use that for future. There's no point, obviously, if we're just watching like a movie, basically. There'd be no point in that, because I'm not. There's nothing to track. But that's exists. But the problem is they're completely separate models. They're not like um add-ons to this one, right? So they're like, because a lot of the other stuff, like where it usually if it comes to like different poses or things, like it would just be treated as like a different expression of the model, where like my arm would go up or my arm would go down or something, right? But for this one, they're completely separate models, and I don't know how to like move all the customizations over. So I'm not sure if there's an easy way to do that, or if I have to do that manually because I'm like a little bit of a dummy maybe. I don't know. But yeah. But it was like there's no point now anyway because we're not using that stuff. But they exist with this model all within the $17, which is kind of cool. So yeah. Um Anyway, update on real quick update on current events. Checking in with today's news. Kind of just because I was right. And I want to point out when I was right, because like pride, but not the June type of pride, the sin type of pride. That's also a sin, apparently. The seven deadly sins type of pride. Anyway, um, but uh and I mean I'm not happy that it happened, but I'm a little bit I'm like I called it. But last night, so all day yesterday the protests were really peaceful around the country. There were a couple minor little scripts and scraps, like a shooting in Salt Lake City, I think in Riverside out here, right next to LA. A car, I think, ran into the protesters. So but on the whole, they were very peaceful, especially considering it's the largest single day protest in US history. So that's really cool. With I think like, oh, was it 5 million people? The previous largest one was the women's rights protest, something something, in 2017 with I think 4 million. Before that was there's a graph going around, it said like the Vietnam moratorium in 69 with like 2 million, something like that. So it was pretty big protest, pretty big protest. And hey Alex, welcome. And so big protest. A lot of people are like, I don't know, don't thank you. I'm not going to use it very often, but it felt very apt for today's stream. um but yeah, a lot of people, first off, I think people should move forward with positivity at this point and looking forward. There's a lot of, after the protest yesterday, a lot of people turning around and seeing the like images and everything, and a lot of people then are like, well, where was this energy back in November? And I don't think after the wildly successful protest like that, the correct response is to point fingers and start casting blame and dividing. That feels not productive. It's like, okay, where were they? I don't know, not voting maybe, but now they will in future. Like I don't know why we need to like decide some people aren't worthy of protesting or changing their mind, because even if they did change their mind, good. Like, I don't know why we are asking people like, well, who did you vote for? Okay, well then you need to stay in your lane. Like that's not how this works, and that's not what we want. People, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, but also, people are like, where were they on in November? Well, there were 5 million people who showed up to the protest, and 75 million people who voted for Kamala. 75 million people voted for Kamala. 5 million showed up to the protests. And everyone's going, where were all of them back in November? Voting for Kamala. Them and 70 million more people. People have no idea what numbers are. For some reason, they see 5 million people at the protests and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so many more people than voted last November for the Democratic Party. No, that's not the case at all. But people have a really, really hard time dealing with large numbers, um, is what I learned, especially from the pandemic. Especially from the pandemic, because back then everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the Black Plague," and it's like, no, it's not. The Black Plague wiped out 40 to 60% of the European population. This is wiping out like 5% of the at-risk population. And they're like, "Yeah, but look at the high number, like 200,000 died," and it's like, right, but that's not the same percentage as the plague. Just to be clear, like, but um not that COVID wasn't bad, but you we have to we cannot say things are the same when they're not the same because that we don't understand how devastating the plague was, nor do we understand the 90% population toll for the Spanish invasion into the New World, and that wiped out 90% of the population, not intentionally, really, that was accidental, but so sickness that was on par with the plague that we had before. Yeah. But again, the Spanish coming into the New World, that was 90%. Now imagine that 90%. Like, yeah, no wonder the conquistadors were able to conquer everyone. If no other reason, they wiped out 90% of the population before the soldiers showed up. They didn't even get there yet. Disease ran ahead of them. Like, and the plague then is 40 to 60, which already sounds bad, but then it's nowhere near as bad as the New World, like deaths basically from the Spanish uh diseases, I guess. COVID was like nowhere near either of those, just to be clear. But people are really bad at large numbers. Thanks, Barden. Welcome, welcome, and yeah, super cute, isn't it? But yeah, so anyway, when people are like, 5 million people came to the protest, where were they in November? Voting for Kamala because there were 75 million that voted for Kamala. Ugh, for some reason, people act like the way more people supported the protest than actually voted for Kamala in November, and that's absolutely not the case. And yeah, maybe everyone at the protest didn't vote for Kamala. That's completely possible. But like, don't you want them to change their minds? Isn't that the point? If they were like diehard MAGA supporters before, but now they're changing to be leftists, don't isn't that what you want? You know? Memoirs written about the Spanish moving to areas, thinking it seemed weird how few people there were. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people get that confused with the smallpox blankets though, but like this was honestly just a weird fluke of human geography for the most part. The Spanish just showed up and they're like, what the hell? And yeah, it went ahead of them. They were like, no one knew what was happening because they didn't understand disease. um but yeah, so it was very unfortunate, of course, but a like huge, just like weird event basically that makes 100% sense, but was a shock to everyone at the time. So you're happy with people changing their mind about things. Yeah, exactly. And like, and I just, it feels very counterproductive when people are like, well, who did you vote for in November? Like, does it matter? They're at the protest now. Are you going to send them home because they didn't vote for Kamala? Like, unless they're actually there to antagonize and cause trouble because they actually are still a Trump supporter. But like, if that's not the case, if they're changing their mind, then like, let them. That's what you want. Like, why would you gatekeep you know, no king's protests. Like that feels weird. But yeah, exactly. And especially like moving forward from here on out, it doesn't matter who you voted for in November. It matters where your stance is on the issues now. Like, um, because like moving if you voted, you know, inhumanely in November, but you changed your mind, good. And you know what? We'll just move forward. No, we don't need to punish you and berate you for what you, if you know you were wrong, then you were wrong, and we'll just move on, you know? Especially when it was such a powerful day, when it was such a huge day and very successful, and like why taint that with division when it should have been it's a unifying day. They don't go home and start fighting. Like if you create a huge momentum of unity, you have to keep that momentum of unity. Um, but also when you're using faulty logic of there were so many people at the protests, but Kamala didn't win. Yeah, because 5 million people were at the protest. 75 million people voted for Kamala. There weren't as many people at the protest as you think. I mean, the protests were still the largest protests in American history for a single day protest, but um, it's not as many as we have voters in the country. Like, so you can't really compare that. And why are you causing trouble based on a faulty comparison when you shouldn't be causing trouble? And definitely don't use a faulty comparison to do it. That's stupid. Um, but anyway, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about that on Twitter and on TikTok, and it's kind of bugging me. But anyway, let's see. What else? Oh, but yeah, so the point is, the big day, many people came out, not to Trump's thing, but to the protests, so that was great. And the um so it was going, and they were very, very peaceful. Again, a couple little tweaks happened. But other than, a couple little minor, and it's not the protesters that were doing it, it was people antagonizing the protesters and actually harming the protesters. And coming from outside sources, not from within the protesters themselves. So, very different, very different. You can't really say they're rioters. They were kind of like counter acts of violence. But then remember what I said yesterday about how we'll see, though? We'll see, because by the time I started stream, it was still like 6 p.m. and I was saying how uh, the protests are always like scheduled for a couple hours around noon, but people stay later and beyond the like official time frames of the protest, and they continue protesting. And then the issue is, though, when it starts to get later in the evening, the protest disperses, but then like troublemakers come out as it kind of gets dark, and that's why they implemented the curfews. Well, downtown again, um curfews were set for, I believe, 8 o'clock, but then like I think but then starting around, I think it was like 4:30 or 5 o'clock or so. I think around 5. They from what I can tell, police like told reporters to kind of get out. And so reporters kind of backed up, followed police instructions. And because a lot of the reporters were still there outside the police line, but the police then kind of surrounded all the protesters who were there and kind of hemmed them in, and then started giving them orders to disperse. And the protesters were like, "But curfew isn't for hours yet. Why do we have to leave? This is a peaceful demonstration. Nothing violent has happened. Why are you asking us to leave?" And this was the, I think, LA County Sheriff's Department on mounted units for some reason. And and also the California Highway Patrol as well. Were the big so it wasn't specifically the LAPD, it was LA County Sheriff's Office and California Highway Patrol. And they were on these like mounted units and stuff, which was weird. I don't know why they needed the horses there, because then they were kind of making this argument that like, oh, you disperse because the horses are getting spooked. Why'd you bring horses then? Like, "Oh, but you're too loud and noisy. The horses are getting spooked." And it's like, maybe it's the gas masks that you placed on the horses. Maybe that's spooking them. Think of that. And they're like, "No, the horses are getting spooked." And then they were throwing out like flashbangs and stuff. And it was kind of like, well, maybe that's freaking the horses out. Did you think of that? And I know they're kind of trained, but aren't they like, why can they handle that stuff but not some protesters? Just a thought. If you knew you were going to protest, right? Maybe you shouldn't have brought the horses. So kind of sure people being on a horse to step on that guy was a bit dumb, yeah. Or spooked or the reason they brought him. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Which makes no, but it's very clearly stupid because it's like, oh, the horses are spooked. Why did you bring them to a protest, dumbass? Like, when you're like, oh, how dare there be protesters at this protest? Like, no one was doing anything wrong. You just brought horses, and then we're like, but I want to be here with my horses, and they're getting scared. Take them away, stupid. Mm. But then of course they were hemming the protesters in, and telling them to disperse. And again, as we've seen the past few days beforehand, they were telling them to disperse, hemming them in, and um, which apparently is called kettling, and is illegal to do. But they were doing it anyway because like they're like, the law was that. So they were kettling the protesters in and telling them to disperse, but not giving them an exit route. And the protesters, of course, are like, where can we leave? And they're like, back there. And there are a bunch of videos from one specific example. And they're like, that's a dead end. We can't leave. And where can we go? And the police were like, back there. And it's like, they're like, that's a dead end. Looks like a dead end to me. And they're like, doesn't look like it to me. And they're like, but what? So they couldn't leave. And then they started using, because the horses got spooked, that was justification for using like tear gas and stuff for some reason. Uh, because we're not like in logic land anymore and we don't obey the law anymore. So, well, protesters mostly do, but the police don't. They're above the law, apparently. Um, but anyway, so they were then using the tear gas and stuff. Illegal, but only illegal if you get caught doing it, and only illegal if some prosecutors has to actually act on it. Yes. I mean, they definitely got caught doing it, but yeah, someone has to act on it. But apparently, they've been gotten in trouble for kettling before and had to make huge payouts, so they probably will again. And honestly, like, it's this balancing act because apparently they have a quota of arrests to make, and you know, is like people they were like, you got to make this many arrests to make the protest seem problematic. So they're like, all right, we gotta find an excuse for the arrests. Um, and so they're probably told this stuff by their superiors. Now, they can refuse unlawful actions, and they're still supposed to. But I understand that's a rough position to be in. I get that. I get that. Huge props if they do refuse, because that's a very brave thing to do. But I don't blame them if they don't. I do understand. That's really tough and scary. Um, because you're worried about your livelihood and your employment and things like that. And like I get that. I get that. So I don't blame them. Specifically. I mean, could they have not done that? Yes, but I blame the people who are giving the commands and the orders. Um, that's where I put my own anger, but sadly don't seem to be a big disincentive. Cost gets passed to taxpayers mostly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, exactly. They don't really care. And it's not like it's like, oh, has it hurt their reputation? Whatever. The way they see it is just a price tag. You know. I know people kind of saw that before too, and like people vandalized the Colosseum with like they graffitied their name on the Colosseum, and they got slapped with a 25,000 euro fine. And what that told the world was, you can write your name on the Colosseum for 25,000 euro. Like, okay. Um, so yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like, it's to really rich people, it's nothing, and to like, police forces, they're making a lot of money, so it's really not much for them to, do these payouts for this sort of stuff. Um, but yeah, um, and honestly, this probably worked into their budget even. They have a huge budget. They're like, this part of the budget is our payouts for doing illegal things. They planned for it. Um, but they probably call it legal fees. Um, but uh, but yeah. And so they were, kettling the protesters in using tear gas. saying that because they weren't dispersing, even though they were not allowing them to disperse. And then and then of course they kind of keep them there until curfew, and then they arrest them for violating curfew, and that's how they can get their arrests in. So you wouldn't be surprised about, yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, and so as I mentioned last night, that's what I figured. Like I was like, the protests were super peaceful and great, and they were until police started using tear gas. The protests themselves were the protesters were peaceful. The police were not. And again, like in some places around the country, there was some antagonizing against the protesters. People clearly not part of the protester group, and sort of countermeasures against them. But the police were the biggest violence source for the most part. And yeah, and again, and kind of like I said last night, it's usually towards the end of the day when stuff goes down, especially because the police start being a little bit more forceful and start breaking some laws by the time you get to the end of the day. And the protests during the day are peaceful, but by the time the police start antagonizing, things can start to look a little bit rougher by the end of the day. And so that's why I said last night I was like, there were peaceful protests, but we have to wait and see until things shake out over on the West Coast until dark hits, because we wouldn't really know until then. Uh, so at least nothing, there was no major. They were also trying to incite as well with a lot of that, with especially with the horses. And again, when there were journalists, they had told the journalists to move out of the area, the people they were kettling, and they also told people to stop filming in those areas as well. And because they didn't want people filming their illegalness. But they got the reporters out, but then the reporters were on just outside the police line and were reporting that sorry for the weird jerk. They were reporting that the protests were very peaceful. Some of them were saying like they've been to protests. They are like a correspondent that covers these sorts of things. Particularly, they've been to so many protests over the years, and they're like this is one of the most peaceful protests they've ever seen. This is a great turnout, very peaceful, like perfect, perfect day. And they're like, I don't understand why police are doing this. It's complete. I mean, they didn't word it like that because we all know why. But they were like, yeah, no, police are antagonizing. This is coming out of nowhere. This is, maybe they're seeing stuff that I'm not, but I don't know if anyone else can say. But from what we're seeing here on the ground, there was absolutely no reason for this, and it's entirely uncalled. And but I don't think there were reporters within the protesters who were being kettled, just outside the police line, outside the perimeter, but they were reporting from outside the perimeter, kind of, reaffirming everyone's uh, views from inside who were recording inside the police perimeter, and describing the situation from inside. The reporters from the outside were basically saying the same thing, that the police were blocking these people in, and there was no violence that had occurred. Until then, the mounted units in particular started kind of chasing the reporters off and telling them to leave and disperse. And so they had to leave as well. Um, but but it was very clear what was happening and what they were doing, and a lot of it was trying to antagonize, especially the tear gas, which was clearly not necessary. But they were, yeah, being very trying to incite violence in order, to make it look like a violent riot. But good job the protesters, they didn't fall for it. They didn't fall for the bait. Don't take the rage bait. And they didn't, and they still got arrested because the police break the law. But yeah. So anyway, so that's the news. Just so everyone's up to date on everything that's happened. Other stuff may have happened too, but those are the highlights. Um, that's really, yeah, that's really all I care about that new stuff. Let's watch Fairy Tale Theater now. Let's turn to that. Hold on, I'm gonna take a drink. Okay. Oh right, let me switch over. I'm gonna have to adjust my model. Hold on. Mm, is this right? No, I'm too big. This is better. Maybe this. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so first we're going to watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And hopefully I don't get in trouble for it. I figure, see, our best resolution setting is in 340, and I feel if something only comes in 360 is what it is. And if something only comes in 360p, it's not like really stealing it because you can barely see it anyway. Right? And by the way, when these really low level graphics show up on our computers, they actually and our screens, they did not look as bad on the previous screens because of the way the pixels were displayed. The fact that our screens are such high resolution make the low resolutions look much worse. Because of like the lack of clarity, it creates more fuzziness on where the pixels start and end, whereas lower resolution screens actually have a much clearer, crisper sort of edge to the images because they had a little bit less wiggle room with where the you know pixels are. Basically it kind of things get muddied when you have to spread like you know something that was 4 pixels across something that's now 20 pixels, and you have to decide where those 4 pixels begin or end. You'll have a lot more variation then compared to on like the side of a house, right? Now you're like, where does it end? Used to be 2 pixels out of 4 pixels is where the line was, but now it's like 20 pixels and you're like, oh, is it 10 or is it 12 or is it 8 or is it 13? And it's like harder to determine. So just to like, point out a nice reminder that it didn't look like this if you watched it on I think it's from 1988 maybe. If you watched it on TV in 1988, it would have had a crisper look to it. But yeah, kind of change your settings to 160p to get the full experience. Now it would have looked better. Difference between phosphorus and old CRT TVs and pixels on modern displays. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of factors that go into it, and so it looks really bad now, but it would have looked better back then. Not as good as our like something that's made in 4K on a 4K screen obviously is going to look better, but something that's made in 340 or 360 on a 360 screen will look better than on a what is mine? I don't know, like 2500 or something screen. So yeah, just a point on that. Anyway, let's watch. Let's begin.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Hi, Shelley Duvall.
Welcome to Fairytale Theater.
Is the audio
Tonight's
good,
show
by
is
the way?
adapted from the classic Brothers Grimm tale about a jealous queen whose vanity destroys her and almost destroys our heroine.
Okay, good.
Snow White. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Platypus production. I never with Gaylord Television Entertainment. Oh right, they spell it fairy with the IE. Elizabeth McGovern. Vanessa Redgrave. Rex Smith. That's a cool name. Also starring Michael Preston as the Huntsman. And Vincent Price as the Magic Mirror, right? Vincent Price is in this. With some other people. Tony Cox, Luke Carey, Billy Curtis. Daniel Fishman, Peter Reich, Kevin Thompson. Robert T. Jones. Peter Mellark.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land,
I'm
with
like, I
graceful
don't know.
forests
Too
and
similar to the
towering
Hunger Games for me.
mountains, there lived a beautiful young queen. As
Hi,
well as
Vincent
being
Price.
lovely, she was a warm person. And she and the king were very much in love.
Aw.
One day, as she was sewing a birthday gift for her husband, she pricked her finger with the needle.
She lives in the 80s.
Ooh. Oh, how I wish I could have a child with lips of deep red.
I think of this scene a lot, actually.
Her skin, white as snow. Her hair, black as the wood on my window frame.
See, this is why, like,
Several months
when people
later,
are like,
the
Rachel
young
Ziegler
queen
can't
gave
be
birth
Snow
to a
White
daughter,
because she's
and
supposed to be
everyone in the
white or
kingdom
whatever.
was
And I'm
very
like,
happy.
honestly, kinda, because
But
I think
happier
of
than
that
everyone
scene
was the beautiful young
right
queen.
there. I'm
For
like,
her
it's kind of
daughter was
important.
blessed with lips a deep red
See?
and skin white as snow,
I don't know, man.
and her hair
White,
was
whiter
as black as
slow.
the wood in the window frame.
White as snow.
Discussing the matter with the king, they decided to call the baby Snow White. But all did not go well. The young queen died
Baby
a
had
short
no
while
idea what was
later,
happening.
and everyone in the land felt a very deep
R.I.P.
sadness.
Queen.
After several years had passed, the king
Captions aren't
married
great,
once
but
again. But the new queen,
but they're
while
trying their
very
best.
beautiful indeed, did not have the goodness in her heart that Snow White's mother possessed. She was mean and selfish and very, very vain.
She kind of looks a little similar to the previous queen.
Mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
You, my queen, with your beauty so grand, are indeed the fairest in the land.
Of course I am. Look, my cheekbones high, but with a gentle roundness.
The character skin colors kind of specifically.
Barely
Yeah, exactly. It's like
flowing
it
into a frame for a
kind of
perfect
important
face.
to the character.
And my lashes, exquisite lashes that allow me to coyly lower my lids without fear. Or open
I don't know, like hair color
wide
you can dye, but like she should have
and send even
really
the
black hair as well.
strongest
As black as
man into
ebony.
a fever.
And lips.
The years do not affect
Red
my
as
beauty.
blood.
My lips are soft. And my skin
These captions.
could be satin. Why must I be disturbed? Yes, who is it now?
Yeah, don't disturb her.
Snow White.
Don't disturb her during mirror time.
Oh.
Okay.
It's
Now you get to see Snow White. This is my Snow
All
White.
right, come in if you must.
I did not mean to disturb you, but look what the court jester taught me.
What on earth are you doing?
My Snow
Juggling.
White.
Juggling? How horrid! How dare you! Out!
Forgive me, stepmother.
I beg your pardon, my queen.
Yes.
My queen, bad news for you, I fear. Since Snow White has come so near, I've changed my mind. I have come to find that she, with her beauty so
Wait,
rare,
wait,
is
wait.
by far the fairest
This
of the
implies that the mirror
What?
doesn't know, like he says
Snow
she's the
White.
fairest of them all, but like he
That's scrawny
apparently didn't
pest!
know Snow White was pretty until he literally saw her in front of him.
Such a way.
So he
It's a
doesn't
lie,
know
an
what people in the
outrageous
kingdom
lie.
look like.
My queen, to accept the
He
truth
only
of the
knows
dignity
who's in
and
front of
grace
him.
would be far more rewarding than forever fretting about your face.
Stop That!
Rude.
Oh, Snow White, that gawky brat! I hate her. I want the royal huntsman! Bring him to me this very moment!
Yes, my lady. The Queen wants the huntsman. At once. Hurry. 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 Find him
You're
quickly.
gaslighting her. Magic
That's
is just
the
talking,
I
not
shall
scrying.
never hear
Yeah.
those words from
Clearly.
you again. I will not tolerate such lies.
Mirror is just a troll. It's interesting that her crown is like very similar to the previous queen's, but it's just a little bit like thicker.
Your
and
Highness?
bigger.
Come here.
Yes, my queen.
But her hair is too.
Is there something you wish me to do? Or someone?
He's also from the 80s.
My lady? Is the venison not to your liking?
Listen carefully.
With his Luke Skywalker hair.
I order you this very evening to take Snow White deep into the forest. Once you are there, you are to cut out her heart and bring it back to me in this box.
A human heart may not be a pleasant sight.
Kind of always spooked me when I was little, imagining
I
like
must
a
see it.
bloody heart in that box.
I must know she's
I don't know,
dead.
something about putting it in a special
shall have
pretty
to.
box is... Ugh. It's like a gross thing, and so it's like the dichotomy of putting it in a pretty box. It's just like, I don't know. Feels extra weird.
We're almost there.
Stop. When I say stop.
What is it my stepmother wants me to see so deep in the woods?
We'll see.
You're not gonna kill any animals, are you? Especially deer, they're so beautiful.
I won't be killing animals.
Like, they're so mean. They're so beautiful, is what she said, to be clear. She doesn't have beef with the deer. Captions are funny.
It is better to be swift.
No, wait! No, I can't! I can't die without my prayers! You must
Prayers?
my prayers!
You gotta let her do her
please.
prayers.
We'll say them quickly then.
Why must I be murdered?
No question.
Why is he Trump colored?
Just prayers.
Yeah, I'm keeping him on because I think it's part of the charm.
Pray God. I forgot what it is I should be asking for, but I know I shouldn't die without a prayer.
The music
I
is
can't
really good
remember
too.
any sins, God, and I can't think of any reason why I should die. It might be easier if I understood the reason, if I knew why, but I don't. I can't think of what else to ask for.
And why should she die? Tell her. What did she do?
Oh, God bless my father and my stepmother. And forgive the huntsman who slays me.
Oh, forgive the huntsman. She's such a nice person. You're a deaf person. Yeah, or especially like someone who's a non-native speaker of English. They sort of would struggle with this sort of thing. But at least they would know the captions are bad. Well, no, a deaf person would. A non-native speaker might not. Is the
I'm not
issue.
going to do it.
Because if you know it's
I
bad, you
cannot
can be
do
like, okay, let me try to guess what's wrong and
I
what's
cannot
right.
kill one so innocent
But-
as you.
If you
One who would forgive even me.
don't know they're wrong, then you'll be really confused.
Or kill a boar. Take the queen heart of a wild pig. And you must never go back to the castle, Snow White.
Yeah, take a boar's heart
You're
back.
far safer here in the woods than you would be back there with your stepmother.
I do not need your approval anymore. I hope you're aware of that. For I know that I'm
You never
stunning,
needed the mirror's
and
approval,
I'm not
actually.
dependent on you
He's
or
just a
anyone
mirror.
else. No, I'm
You've
very
never been dependent
self-assured,
on the mirror.
and I
He's
have
literally
no
just
need
a
of
mirror.
compliments,
You should
nor
see
any
it.
lust for flattery.
Yeah, you
What
never
is
needed
keeping
that.
fool
You should see a
huntsman?
therapist.
Well,
Your Highness, the heart of Snow White, my lady.
what a heavy heart that galloping little urchin had. Off with you.
Yeah. So weird, just having a heart in a box like that. Ugh. Even a boar's heart. How many things can be fixed by a cell phone's therapy or just talking to people? That's, honestly, modern stories are the same. But stories are stories because of conflict. That's what you need, conflict. The music is actually really good in this whole thing. I'm really appreciating the music and the audio in general. Even it's a little crunchy.
They certainly have small appetites.
And I kind of like her voice too, because it's not like very high pitched, especially compared to like the Disney Snow White. She has like a very high pitched voice, but hers is like a little bit lower, and I like that.
Cold? Cold soup?
It helps balance her out, so she's not super feminine and girly, Like, and she was trying to juggle, so she's like, it gives her more character.
Cold meat?
She's talking with her mouth full. Yeah, the costuming's good, the sets are good. It's really good. Cold peas.
I could eat it all if I were not so tired.
But still interesting the way she just goes through people's things. But I guess she is a princess, so she's like, these are my subjects. Or maybe she's just never been given boundaries. I don't know. You'd also be pretty nosy if you found a tiny house in the woods. I mean, that's fair. I mean, no one was there. So. Here are the dwarves. My favorite set of dwarves.
There's a bite missing from my meat.
Some of my peas are missing.
Something's been in this house.
And maybe it's still here.
Look at that. Oh,
My, what a lovely child.
I wish you could
Who
see
is
them
she?
more clearly.
A princess. She must be a princess.
You've never seen a princess, so how would you know?
So, I've seen a prince.
That's not the same. It's a stupid assumption, Bubba.
Well,
That's a
she
stupid
looks
assumption,
like a princess,
Bubba.
and don't
That's-
call me stupid.
My brother and I quote
You
that a
don't
lot.
wake her? Let her sleep.
The stupid
Oh,
assumption,
yes.
Bubba. Because they say it
Let
a few
her
more
sleep
times.
in my bed. How generous of you. And where do I sleep, huh?
Hush. You sleep in your chair.
Oh, good. Very good. Some of my peas are missing, and now my bed's gone.
Come on, let's go finish our dinner.
He was out for a while.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? Talk to me.
Wake up!
Tell me of my beauty.
You, my queen, are ever so fair. But even your beauty cannot compare with that of Snow White, who's alive and well, far in the forest where the 7 dwarves dwell.
Don't be ridiculous. That is impossible. Her heart is in this box. You're lying again.
When the mirror tells a lie, it shatters in shame. I'm still in one piece. It's the truth I proclaim.
But didn't he tell you that you were the fairest of them all before, like, he saw Snow White, and that wasn't true? But well, a boar's heart.
Whose heart is in this box?
There was supposed to be. A boar's heart.
It is that of a boar, my lady.
Oh, yeah.
And where is Snow White's heart? Come here, I want you to see something. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me the fairest one of all.
Then show the huntsman, it'll be funny. No.
Enough. Surrender yourself to the guards.
Surrender yourself. Why so funny?
Fool. I will solve this problem myself.
Oh, this part's cool too.
See.
Look at all the bubbly stuff.
Purity, innocence. Snow White, you scraggy little wench. Those attributes will do you no good whatsoever by the time I've finished with you. How dare you attempt to take everything away from me?
Now, for some reason, the way a lot of the stuff here, like, bubbles up, like, it's actually pretty easy to make it, yeah, but a lot of people wouldn't in today's TV. A lot of people wouldn't. They wouldn't bother. They wouldn't bother with dragons. They just wouldn't. Or they'd CGI it. They'd be like, oh, let's just CGI this. But a lot of times practical, honestly, everyone kind of knows the best effects are a mix between CGI and practical. Those are the best effects. But too many studios these days go all in on full CGI. And then it doesn't look
I
good.
had to do it.
but the all the bubbling and stuff feels to me similarly like not immersive, but somehow like not like tempting, but like I don't know, it's appealing. It's appealing in a way. The same way of when Snow White is there and she's like eating the food and saying what she's eating, like as she's chewing it, somehow is like equally appealing. Like, do I want to eat the peas? No. But like it draws me in. The fact that she says it's peas while she's literally chewing on them. Like, I don't know. And then seeing all the bubbles also kind of like draws me in the same way. Like you're dead in forest and die. Or black lighted clothes. This looks super toxic. Sort of neon green, yeah. Yeah, you can do all sorts of like cool tricks and stuff. But they don't do that these days. She makes up miss. Honestly, this would be kind of weird.
Are you a princess?
Well, yes, I am.
I knew it. She is a princess. I was right. I told you so. Go back to bed. What's your name?
Snow White. What's yours?
Bubba.
Why are you so small?
I'm small because I'm a dwarf.
What exactly is a dwarf?
Someone who is small, like all of us.
Good morning.
Good morning. These are my brothers. Brothers, this is Princess Snow White. Princess, he's Barnaby. That's Boniface. He's Bruno. And Baldwin.
Have I seen Bruno in something else before?
And Bernard.
Who not?
Welcome to our home, Princess. Yes, a pleasure.
Waking up in
to
a
be
tiny
sure.
weird house surrounded by
Thank
guys
you.
would be super
A
comfortable.
princess
Yeah.
slept in my bed last night. A princess. Imagine that.
Thank you, Bubba. It was very
Especially if she's
comfortable.
never seen
Oh,
Little
you're
People
welcome,
before. It'd
princess.
just be like,
You don't have to call me
honestly,
princess. You can just call me
you'd be
Snow
like,
White.
what is this?
All right, Snow White.
Sure.
This feels like a
Yes,
kind of
well,
like
we've got a busy day
anomalous
ahead of us.
situation, you know?
And first, we better have our breakfast.
Like, where the
And it's
you'd
your
wake up
turn
and
to
be like,
set
what
the
the
table,
heck
Boniface.
just happened? This feels like an unlikely. I mean, I guess it's very
help you,
likely
Boniface?
considering she walked in and everything's
I like to
small.
do
So
things
I
my
don't. I
own
guess you
way.
wouldn't be surprised about that
Oh.
part. But
What are you doing here, Snow White?
I was lost in the forest.
The forest. Bears. Boars. Dangerous. What were you doing in the
Supposed to be
forest
boars.
alone after dark?
Well, I was with someone, but we were separated.
Oh, well, maybe one of us could help you find your way back home.
Oh, no.
Why not? Because I could do it. I could find your castle.
I'm more afraid to go to the castle than I am to be alone in the forest at night.
Afraid? Why?
My stepmother, the queen, is very evil. And she told the huntsman to take me into the forest and cut out my heart with a knife.
Oh, cut out your heart with a knife?
Yes.
To die in the forest?
Yes.
Wicked, evil thing.
Ghastly.
I know it sounds terrible.
Oh, she should be ashamed. After all, you are a princess.
they're really
Did
caught
you
up on
not
that
go home?
princess thing.
I should try to kill you again.
Oh, I like how he's holding his hat. That's cute. I don't know if
I
I've
stay
noticed that
here?
before.
I can help you clean and sew and mend your clothes and make your beds.
Good. Wait a minute. Why would I sleep?
Oh, I wouldn't take your bed, Bubba. I promise.
Well, we do need help. We work in the mines all day. And we cook our dinners in the morning because we're too tired at night. And I'm tired of eating cold dinners.
Yeah. But how could we ask a princess to cook for us and wash our clothes?
Oh, that's all right. I don't mind.
No, I like to do things my way. We don't need any help.
Let's take a vote. All in favor of Snow White staying? Aye! Too bad, Boniface, you lose.
Yeah, take that, Barnabas, sucker. You lose.
Whoa. Oh, good morning.
What was that?
Just an ordinary peddler.
Come on, let's
Wow,
go.
look at the peddlers peddling.
I sing in the valley, I sing in the wood, I sing for a true love all day.
It's interesting that in this version he's singing, not Snow White.
That I shall find someday. For I'll be your prince, and you'll be my dwarf.
Good day, Prince.
Oh, good day, dwarves.
Ah, I see. You're off to the mines again.
Oh, Prince, you should know who's staying at our house.
Who is staying at your house? No one you would care about.
Just another dwarf.
Why not tell him? He's always searching for love, and you know he would love Snow White.
Listen, Bubba, then we'd have no one to tend to us. No hot dinners. And you know how we need hot dinners.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Okay, this part is so cool. Look at all the pretty colors.
Yes, they are pretty. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They're so pretty. Would you like
So yeah, what ribbon would I get? Like on a ribbon. See, like they all look so tempting.
Any money, dearie? I don't? Oh, no, 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 not at all. A lovely child like yourself should have a gift of ribbons and laces. Come and select whatever you like.
Look how pretty.
What a lovely blue one. Wouldn't it look lovely round your
That's kind of like my hair.
Let's try it. I like blue. Oh, yes. Around once, around twice, and nice, and tight.
Very pretty, but very deadly.
Good.
If you're a child, that's pretty convincing.
Not so beautiful today.
No, she's still very beautiful. Literally, oh, you were all probably just figured with your stepdaughter. You kind of had it. Yeah. Like, honestly, I kind of feel like she might have been prettier as a peddler.
Your beauty so rare, are indeed the fairest of the fair.
To be honest, like, maybe.
Oh, thank heaven. Oh, this calls for celebration. Bring me a basket of fruit and a flask of our finest wine.
Look!
Oh my God! She's dead! Our princess is dead!
What beautiful ribbons! That's what killed her, stupid!
They're still beautiful ribbons.
Stop you, Gavin. Help me pick her up. Let's get these ribbons off of her.
Yeah, get the ribbons off. Maybe she's still alive. Her brain hasn't had oxygen for like 8 hours, but maybe she's still alive. And this was the first ever maypole.
What happened? You're alive.
She's alive!
Yay!
Who did this to you, Snow White?
Peddler.
A peddler woman selling ribbons.
A peddler woman? We saw her.
Yes, we saw her this morning.
I knew it. I knew it was that evil queen.
The queen? How do you know? That's a stupid assumption, Bubba.
I know.
That's a stupid assumption,
I knew
Bubba.
it when I saw her. And don't call me stupid.
Come here, stop it, both of you.
Yeah, you show Bruno who's boss.
I don't understand it.
Wicked people have wicked ways, Snow White.
Yes, I know that's true, but why does she want to kill me?
Because she is wicked.
she's probably
Wicked
just
people
jealous.
have wicked ways.
It's a stupid assumption, Bubba. Hey, stop it, both of you, stop it! Listen, hey, stop that fighting!
Stupid assumption, Bubba.
Listen to me, Snow White. You must keep the door bolted and let no one in the house when we're gone.
Do you think she'll try it again?
She might. Don't trust her. And don't talk to anyone. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Oh, if I ever saw that queen, I'd hit her so... Wait a minute. Where am I gonna sleep?
Don't fret, Bubba. I'll make a bed on the floor. Come on.
Oh, the curves and hollows of my neck. So lovely. So
You're weird,
lovely.
lady.
The gentle arching of my eyebrows fascinates me. Most others have such grotesque misshapen eyebrows. And never a wrinkle, never a line, never those dreadful furrows and cracks and
I can't decide if
blemishes
she
that
would
other
like
women
to be a
have.
VTuber or not.
What do you like best about living in a castle?
Well, it's big, I guess.
Do you have your own room?
Yes, of course. I had 4 rooms.
Oh, four rooms.
all to yourself?
Wow.
Yeah. I had a music room,
Oh.
a painting room, a study room, and a bedroom.
I'd get lost in all those rooms.
I would like my own bedroom.
Yeah.
This is so cute compared to like the
I think it's
dancing
much more fun to
scene
live like you do all together.
in the animated
Still
version.
like my
This is really cute. A little like sleepover
I'd be very
where
happy
they
if you had your
talk
own bedroom.
about their feelings.
Sleep your own way.
Yeah, snore, snore, snore.
I don't even miss the castle anymore. It's too big and cold and lonely. Although, I did like the moat.
A moat? With water?
Why'd you like the moat?
Once when I was little, I jumped in and I swam. Nobody knew, of course, or I would have been punished.
You swam? Not us. We don't swim.
Why not?
Dwarfs can't.
Have you tried?
No. Dwarfs can't.
But why?
We're too little. Fish would eat us.
No, they wouldn't. No, you are much bigger and stronger and braver than those fish.
That's
Yeah.
a stupid...
Yeah, you
That's
can't call
only
her
an
stupid.
assumption, Snow White. Bubba's right. The fish should eat us up.
Well, anyway, I like living here better than the castle, even without a moat.
I know a prince that has a castle. A singing prince. Quiet! Nah,
Dude, Snow White can
Bubba's
just
always
right,
dreaming.
right.
He
They don't,
doesn't
they're
know
not,
any prince. A
they
singing
didn't tell the
prince.
prince about her, not for her
What
own
a
safety, but
stupid
because they want to
assumption.
keep her the housekeeper.
Stop that fight, both of you!
That's why they're not telling her about the prince.
Someday, especially one that sings.
Love songs? Bubba, shut up!
Bubba, tell her.
What do you dig for all day?
Gold?
Gold. Is it plentiful in the mountains?
We haven't found any in 10 years.
But we keep digging, don't we?
That's called perseverance.
Well, since you all work so hard, I'm gonna get up early tomorrow morning and fix hot cakes and syrup.
Hot cakes and syrup!
Oh, hot cakes and syrup. Wow.
Bring me my breakfast.
The lady is awake. She needs her breakfast. Quickly.
What is she gonna eat for breakfast?
Hurry, hurry.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Don't want to know the answer to that.
You, my queen, are ever so fair. But even your beauty cannot compare with that of Snow White, who's
Prince of
alive
Price just had to
and
keep going.
well, far in the forest where the
shut up.
7 dwarfs dwell.
Whose side are you on, buddy?
Oh.
What? Why are you disturbing me? What
He
is
just
it
loves
now?
seeing her
Your
upset.
breakfast, my queen.
don't want any breakfast. How dare you?
Begging your forgiveness, my queen.
I'll kill her this time. Horrid. Ugly. Ungrateful child. Today, your disgusting ruby red lips will bite into my beautiful ruby red apple. And we will fatten you up with a wondrous...
I just love her little set, her little chemistry set.
of doom.
Although I'm not sure I like all the cobwebs around this stuff, really. Somehow it makes it seem less threatening, because it means like she doesn't like use it, you know?
Looking at the world below me from my mountain high, always tells me I am alone, never tells me why.
You know, he's giving me Bob Ross vibes. Huntsman was like Luke Skywalker. This guy's like Bob Ross. His hair's not quite afro-y enough, but, you know. He's in the same category.
Ooh, what a lovely song.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I find it difficult to believe a man such as yourself could ever be lonely.
What's she even trying to do?
True, fruit woman.
Oh, well, perhaps you'd like a grape.
Why?
She's seriously hitting on this guy?
And some company.
Well, thank you very much, fruit woman. My, what a lovely apple. Is that for sale?
But there are nicer things than apples, Prince.
Sure.
Don't you find me irresistible?
Oh.
No.
Why? Yes, of course.
No.
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 Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
What?
Oh, never mind.
How would she have forgotten? Also, why does he just sit there and sing all day? Like, doesn't he have, like, princely things to do? No offense. But, like, if we're gonna have, like, royalty, shouldn't they, like, pull their weight? Just saying.
Come on, let's go. Skin as white as snow.
Guys, she wants a singer, and he's singing about people, a girl with lips ruby red and as white as snow. Come on, man. He clearly wants someone exactly like her. They're like 100% matches.
Bubba, we don't want to lose her.
Bubba, Blab.
I like her very much.
Yeah, me too.
Our house is happier than ever. We'd all miss her.
I think I love Snow White. She's my favorite big person.
I wonder who was the prince their favorite big person before Snow White? He's been replaced. Honestly, he and Snow White are now enemies.
Hello, young lady. Cat got your tongue? Well, no mind. Oh, like an apple? Oh, you would, I know. If you'd ever bitten into one of these gourmet apples, you'd like another. You mean I must eat this
She's a
entire
princess.
apple myself?
She's eaten gourmet apples before.
Oh, what's the matter, young lady? Are you afraid it might be poisoned? Well, then, let me put your fears to rest. I'll take the first bite, and you can have the rest. Oh, delicious. Would you like a bite? All right, my little snowdrop. Go ahead now, take a bite.
I can't tell if like the queen is actually doing like a good job at being friendly when she's in these characters, or if she's creepy. Like, what would I actually think?
It's delicious.
No one can argue now. Now there's only one beauty in the land.
Why is she gonna crawl like that? The laughing thing is kind of creepy as well. The, like, insane laughter.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest?
The lighting is
of
like
them
so
all?
cool toned.
You, my queen, with your beauty
I understand
so
it's
grand,
daytime in
are
this scene,
indeed
but
the
it's always been
fairest
cool toned
the
in her
land.
room. Which, I'm like, what's the lighting they use? Not like in, for filming, but I mean like, in
Oh, thank heaven.
in the
Oh,
story.
thank heaven.
What's their excuse for the lighting? It's so white. The dwarves are like, not again. Every time they come home, they see this girl passed out on their front yard.
Oh no! She's really dead this time. She
Have
looks
they
so
ever come home to a
pale.
warm meal?
She always looks pale.
But not that pale.
Each day, she's
so
like dead
still.
and hasn't made
she's
them
just
dinner.
faking it.
She's cold. Her
And the whole
face is
reason they're
very
keeping
cold.
her around is because
Even
of
her hands.
that
Even
she'll
her
cook dinner for
legs
them.
are so cold.
Oh, White is really dead.
Oh, God, no.
No. The music does a really nice job
Mirror on the wall,
of like changing at that point.
who
there.
is the fairest of them all?
Being very gentle and
You,
slow.
my queen, with your beauty so fair, none in the kingdom could hope to compare.
Oh, you're just saying that.
We could never bury her.
Also,
she is much too
kind of blame
beautiful to
Snow
be
White's
buried.
dad.
That's right.
Because,
She
like,
should
she's
not
married
be
to the
put
queen,
under
and the
the
queen,
ground.
though, seeks reassurance with her
What then?
mirror. Can't
What do we
he
do?
tell the queen how beautiful she is?
I know.
Or does she not care? 'Cause she's like, oh, well, of course you
and we'll
like
put her
me.
on top of the highest hill in the
You're
forest.
not objective.
And her beauty will be there for all to see.
And to love.
She will be there forever. And we could visit.
Oh, the flower.
What happened?
That dead girl's so pretty, he says.
Bubba, what happened?
Prince, If we had told you about Snow White yesterday, we wouldn't be tearing about it today.
True, it is your guys' fault.
She was the most beautiful princess in the land. But now she's dead.
How many princesses are there in the land? Usually
You're
there's
sure
not very
she's
many.
Dead? Her cheeks still have color and her skin a radiant glow. She is exquisite.
I don't know. Looking at someone in a little glass case and calling them exquisite is weirdly objectifying.
And now we're going to put her on top of the highest hill for all to see.
But I get what he means.
Come on, man, let's go.
It's fine. He's still less creepy than the other prince. Because, like, the dwarves knew him. And they both, the prince and Snow White, both said what they wanted.
Look! She's alive!
She's alive!
Open the coffin, quickly!
It must have been his poison apple.
I knew it. The fruit woman. I knew it when I saw her. She was the evil queen. I knew it.
Wickedness grows in the fertile soil of evil.
That's a stupid assumption, Bernard. Hey, wait! Stop it! Stop it! Cut it out! Move from here!
Snow White.
Chloe just lifts Bruno.
Imagine anyone ever hurting you. You should only be loved. And I am filled with love for you.
You're moving a little bit fast there, buddy.
I cannot imagine life without you.
She's like, who the hell are you? Does she even know he's a prince?
Will you be my wife?
Yes.
I realize you must have some time to think it over.
She doesn't really have many options. Either it's you or one of the dwarves.
Yes. Come to my castle, all of you. We'll have a feast. You and I will be married.
For some reason, their cheer felt very, like,
Snow White
quiet.
and the prince married that very afternoon.
That
The
afternoon,
dwarves
wow, it's
remained their
fast.
friends and were invited to the castle every week for a swim in the moat and a fine feast.
Aw.
Meanwhile, the prince told
Swimming
his
in the
court
moat.
magician about
Did any of
Snow White's
them get eaten by fishes?
evil stepmother. So the magician vowed to surprise the evil queen.
Mirror's having a blast.
The softness, the perfection as it touches my forehead, kisses
I
my
have bad
ear,
news for you about that, how that hair will be
wrists
received in
against the nape of my
2025.
neck. Oh, how I long to hear your voice. Tell me once again, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest
He's double
one
fisting
of
mirrors.
Snow White.
No, it's not true.
I kind of in some ways feel
And you,
bad for
my
her.
queen,
She's been trying to kill that
with
girl.
a vanity unsurpassed,
She's tried 3
and a
times.
soul of cruelty, shall find at last a fitting end to your lack of grace. You shall never again see your beautiful face.
But, no, I have dozens of mirrors.
And each and every one, as you look
Good
in it,
response.
shall turn to black.
I kind of like this ending better than the Disney version, actually. It's emotional torment that's kind of fun. I just like how she's running around and screaming. She really does need a therapist. Hey Ray, welcome.
The end.
Thank you for the story, Vincent Price, and executive producer Shelley Duvall. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Once again, taking our sort of mid, I guess we can switch here. Our little mid-episode story break. Yeah, my little chibi model. It is a built like customizable model for $17. The link is in my about section, so you can look there. Anyone who is interested. Let me take a drink. But yeah, so this is my version of Snow White. My favorite Snow White. I think it does a really good job. They get married a little fast, but at least he doesn't kiss her. Like until she says yes, you know. And the dwarves, like we established that relationship better because like in the Disney version we're like, who the hell is this guy? You know? And like I already forget his name. Was it Alan or something like that? Is that prince's name? But it's never said in the movie or anything like that. I mean, I guess to be fair, this prince didn't have a name either. He's just the prince. But the dwarves knew him, and we know him beforehand. Like, we know a little bit about his character. We know he's a singer. We know he gets along with the dwarves. We know that he was nice to the witch when she was like being like a fruit peddler. We know that, you know, he was looking for someone who fit Snow White's description. Before seeing her, he'd never seen her, but he was looking for someone like that, was sort of like his dream girl. And then we know Snow White also, like, you know, would have loved to have, you know, find a prince and, you know, go back to her castle or a castle. Thanks for the hydrate team. And yeah, all that sort of stuff. And so yeah, so it feels like a little bit more developed, even though like before the scene at the end, when they get together, like they had never met, which to be fair in Disney's version they did, but they didn't meet. It didn't feel good in the Disney's version where she's singing, he like peeps at her from over the wall, she runs away and hides, and then she comes out to her balcony while he sings up at her, but like it feels like weird. The like the dynamics feel weird, whereas here it feels a lot better because like the dwarves kind of sort of tell us that like, oh, Snow White would be perfect for the prince and the prince would be perfect for Snow White, but the dwarves are keeping them apart, even though they know they are a good match for each other and they would like each other, and although we don't know from each of them that they would, for certain, the dwarves are like, nah, they'd be perfect together. So like it feels a little bit better as opposed to the other Snow White. We don't know anything about the prince really. And that's kind of what makes it a little like hit weird these days compared to like the animated Disney one. But this one, I like the way the dwarves know the prince, and that's the whole little dynamic. I really like that. And I really like the kind of like the way they take up time in the story where, and again, by the way, this is like less than half of the length of Disney's animated version, which is 2 hours long. This one is 50 minutes long, so they even added in I feel like they fleshed out the huntsman part a little bit better for some reason. Feels better than the, I don't know if it's actually better than the Disney version. I feel like the intro about the mother felt more fleshed out too. And the um the like obviously the prince was a little bit more fleshed out, and oh, and also like we got the ribbon event as well. The ribbon attempt to kill Snow White. Which I don't believe anything like that exists in the animated version, I think. So, you know, they managed to put a lot into this that we don't really see as much, even like for literally 50 minutes compared to the Disney animated 2 hours. This is like way more efficient storytelling, and I feel like is better storytelling. And certainly better pacing. And also I think the music hits really well. Yeah, the costuming's pretty solid. The sets are pretty good. Overall, pretty good. It's a pretty good. And again, it's a little silly in parts, but it's a fairy tale. I really like the representation with the dwarves because they have a lot of variety with the way the dwarves like literally look with their physical appearances. They even have a little bit of racial diversity involved and everything. And the dwarves are just really charming and delightful. And like, you know, really well developed characters, I feel like, that are fun. Not maybe as many, but I mean, like Disney's version, like they literally named them after things, and they're actually not very well developed. Because like Sleepy, that's not a very well developed character. His personality is Sleepy. Sneezy's personality is Sneezy. That's not a very well developed personality. But these guys, they have a pretty, you know, like, again, not all of them are super developed, but there's 7 of them, and that is a lot for, you know, a story of this length, essentially, to develop all those characters individually. Um, but uh, but yeah, and it adds a little bit. I don't know. I just really like it. I really like it, and I like Snow White's character. She's like feminine, but without, you know, being too weak, really, right? And she's very nice. The part where she has to say her prayers, and she is still portrayed as a very kind, sweet person. Um, and you know, she's very genuine with her actions, you know, as she talks with the dwarves and things like that. But she's still like, you know, she's still a little she does what she wants. She swims in the moat, she learns to juggle, you know, and so she's not necessarily bound by propriety, you know. Her femininity doesn't hinder her in any way, I guess, is the issue. You know, to have like you know, if you do have a princess who does, you know, kind of lean into her femininity, which, you know, is kind of something that like Rachel Zegler was kind of like pushing against. But you can have a princess that does that, but without being hindered by the femininity. Femininity doesn't create weaknesses really here for this Snow White. And her beauty kind of makes her a target, but that's not really the exact same thing. And it's sometimes her like uh qualities associated with femininity, like kindness, or, you know, like, I don't know, sort of rule abiding, kind of like, I don't know, her prayer moment felt very feminine, but that was a strength for her because it actually saved her, because the huntsman was like, oh, I can't do this. So like, you know, her femininity is a strength in elements here, but without giving her like that as weaknesses and stuff. I don't know. I really like it. This is my favorite version of Snow White, and I have yet to see something that can beat it, to be honest. So okay. Let me see here. Let me pause this for a moment and then pull up the next video. I'm gonna watch one more tonight, and it is The Nightingale. Okay. Here we go. The Nightingale.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Hi, Shelley Duvall.
Welcome to Fairytales
Nice to see you
Theater.
again.
Please join us for tonight's tale about an emperor who finds true friendship from a lowly kitchen maid.
Also, please
and a
excuse the
plain little
racism
bird
in
called
this.
the
They tried their
Nightingale.
best. It was the 80s. It's still a lovely thing. Oh, Lionsgate production. Wow. It's still a very nice story. They don't handle the racial aspects well, because it's starring Mick Jagger. He's not playing the Nightingale. But, didn't think lines. I didn't either, to be completely honest. But you know, there we are. Edward James Olmos. Wow. I didn't know he was in this. Okay, so once again, I apologize why pretty much all of the Asian people in this are played by white people. But
this story happened many years ago.
Still a lovely
but
story,
that's
and we'll
exactly
enjoy
why
it.
You should hear it now, before it is forgotten.
Yeah, we need to hear it before it is forgotten.
You know, of course, that in Cathay, the emperor was a Cathayan.
Oh, we need to
and
put
all
on
the
our bad
people around
captions.
him were Cathayan too. but very few were ever allowed to look upon the emperor. In those days, the emperor's palace was the finest in the world.
Yeah, this is a little bit too much white now.
Of the rarest porcelain, absolutely beyond price, but so fragile and delicate that you had to take the greatest care when you moved about.
Is that gong person supposed to be an albino person? Because those are the vibes I'm getting. It kind of reminds me of the albino dancers in The Greatest Showman.
Old master? Huh? Why are we tying these little silver bells onto these flowers?
Emperor directed
Because it's whimsical.
that little silver bells be tied unto the loveliest to make sure that nobody passes without noticing.
Very lovely.
Why are you rushing?
My mother is quite ill, and I'm bringing her scraps from the Emperor's table.
Scraps from the Emperor's table are well and good. But have you given her a bowl of magical tea?
No. What will it do?
When the moon is full, if you dig up the root so that it may be touched by a single moonbeam, the tea you brew from it has magical powers. Oh, so I've been told.
Where do I find this wonderful?
Go to the forest, call the fairies.
Wait, but like, what
pansy,
magical?
and
Wait,
they will lead
did
you
he
to
say what magical powers it has?
Oh, so I've been told.
Thank you.
This one's kind of spooky, okay? Snow White was pretty and lovely, but this one gets spooky.
Primrose? Pansy.
Does that deer have flowers on its antlers?
Where are you?
It absolutely does.
My mother's so ill. Won't you please show me where the
Now
magical
that's
root
whimsy.
is? Here we are, little kitchen maid.
First, you must tell us how pretty we are.
You're just like the queen.
You are. You are by far the prettiest fairies I've ever seen. Under the mushroom, little kitchen maid. Behind the mushroom.
And when the nightingale begins
What
to
is
sing,
under the mushroom?
the ginseng has its most magical powers.
Ginseng.
It is
Oh,
with
that's.
this root that the little kitchen
Oh,
maid
okay.
cured her ailing mother.
What? Wait, what? Okay, sure. Man, this is a weird episode of Apothecary Diaries.
In those days, the forest stretched all the way to the clear blue sea, and in a tree at the very edge
These
lived
sets are,
the
like,
nightingale.
actually kind of good, I think. In my opinion. They're not spectacular, but they're very pretty. But this is based on a real Chinese fairy tale.
How
It's for
beautiful
real.
it is.
Indeed.
This music is the birds singing. To be clear. I don't know if you can hear the sirens outside. Ignore those.
But the strange thing was that no one in the court, not even the emperor himself, knew about the nightingale. Because none of them, not even the emperor himself, ever left the palace.
Emperor never left. He never got to leave. That's very sad.
The Emperor of all Cathay will now address the court. The Emperor of all Cathay will now
You missed your
express
cue.
his thoughts.
He's experiencing depression and he needs to see a therapist. Actually.
The Emperor of all Cathay will say something.
Maybe the emperor doesn't want to.
Why should I?
Oh.
Each night before we retire, you tell us that all
Lore
is
drop.
well in our vast and glorious empire.
Yeah, is it?
Well, it isn't. As all of you know, travelers come from every country in the world to admire my porcelain palace. Poets write thrilling poems.
You're really lucky you didn't say throne.
Normally, I'm too busy to read them. Normally. But tonight, I
There are
read
more
them,
sirens. What's going on?
as I expected. They're full of splendid descriptions of my splendid realm, my splendid palace, my splendid garden,
Mm-hmm.
my splendid swords, my splendid wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, my splendid self.
Yes, we all love your splendid selves. Your splendid
But then
selfies.
came a surprise. Huh? But with all these wonders, nothing could match the nightingale and its exquisite song. Nightingale? I know of no nightingale. Wondrous nightingale. Fabulous nightingale. Incomparable
Imagine
nightingale.
being the emperor, but still
Things
being
one
jealous of a
learns from
nightingale.
books.
Buddy.
Why then has no one ever told me of it? Prime Minister?
I have never heard anyone mention this creature, Your Imperial Majesty.
Feature your imp, majesty.
I can say with certainty it has never been presented at court. Master of the Imperial Music?
Oh no, Your Imperial Majesty.
This book was sent to me by the...
Oh, also, the Master of Imperial Music may or may not, like,
It cannot be
be
untrue.
albino, but, like,
I wish
they
to
are
see this
non-binary,
nightingale
right? We can all agree
tonight, or I will have you
that
all
they're probably non-binary.
punched in the stomach.
Not punched in the stomach. The Master of Music has a shield, so They're not worried.
I feel much better now. I'm hungry.
Good.
Nightingale? Never heard of it.
I love them. There's
A bird? In the porcelain palace? Not likely.
this master of music is so... They're so funny. Oh no! Get up, buddy.
We have no birds, but we have some nice little bells.
I know someone who goes out of the palace every evening to the forest and all the way down to the sea.
Is it just me, or does their accent sound kind of like Native American?
You have seen this animal.
Goodness, yes. Oh, that bird can sing. Please don't step where it's wet, sir.
Little kitchen maid, the Emperor of all Cathay has commanded the presence of this bird at court this very evening.
That's a good idea. I'm sure the Emperor of all Cathay will be pleased with the little nightingale. Of course, I've never seen the Emperor
Little
myself,
kitchen maid,
but...
get up. Get up.
The hair twirl.
Can you lead us to this magical nightingale?
Oh, yes.
If you do, I shall bestow upon you the permanent title of
Or is the master of music supposed to be just a normal white person, and they're just like extra white to make these other white people look Asian by contrast?
Twice a week. We leave at once.
Is that it?
What a remarkable force from just a tiny animal!
Such strength from a bird. How inspiring.
Oh, no. That is only a fox. A fox, that's
Are
what
you
she
people
said.
stupid?
We still have a long way to go.
Not a bird. Not a bird at all.
I hear it! Delightful. Similar to the sound of little temple bells, I should
These
say.
palace people.
We'll be at court. Oh, no. That is only a frog croaking in the pond.
Why is he wearing a
We still have a
crown?
long way to go.
Oh.
That's no normal frog. You gotta kiss him. Dude, imagine just going out and tying little crowns onto frogs and seeing if anyone kisses them.
My feet are hurting.
Long way to
Be a
go
fun
for a
prank.
bird.
Softly.
It'd probably be children who kiss them, unfortunately. So maybe that's not so nice, but that's a fun prank for a child to do. If they're gonna be like big brain about it.
How ordinary it looks.
No wonder it was never presented
Yeah,
at
but
court.
listen to it.
Probably lost its color from the sight of so many distinguished personages.
Of course, that explains it.
Guys, it's not all about what things look like. Okay? Sometimes it's what's on the inside that counts.
Sweet little nightingale, the Emperor of all Cathay wishes to hear you sing.
It is my pleasure.
Isn't that voice kind of creepy?
My fine little Nightingale, I am not your emperor. It is my very pleasant duty to summon you to court this evening, where you shall enchant our emperor.
Imagine being summoned to
sweet
court
song.
when you're a Nightingale.
It sounds best in the open, but I will come with greatest honor.
I believe you accept my...
Sounds best in the open.
Quick! Hurry!
For your Imperial
Gonna sound as
Majesty's
good in the
most
palace
royal
walls.
indulgence, a delicate pâté compounded of rendered yak, rare spices, exotic herbs,
Rendered
and
jack.
tongues of hummingbirds.
Hummingbird tongues? Ew. You didn't
For
even
your
try all the
Imperial
parts.
Majesty's
Maybe some
most
of the rest of it
royal
tastes better.
gratification, a gently roasted suckling pig, raised exclusively on the milk of lambkins and glazed with the honey of rare Himalayan bees.
I tasted this before, some years ago.
Oh no, Your Majesty.
In the springtime.
Oh no, Your Majesty.
He's a genius.
That suckling pig was glazed with the honey of rare Kashmiri bees.
Oh. No, I
For
trust
your
him. I
Imperial
trust him.
Majesty's most royal
That
gustatory
perhaps
amusement.
is the smile of someone who knows that they're right,
with a
but
goose,
they're gonna just not
stuffed
push it.
with a pigeon, stuffed with a quail,
Ah,
stuffed
this thing.
with a single teeny tiny canary egg of the
There
rare
better
blue
be no
canary
nightingales in there.
of Siam.
So,
Nice.
have you considered eating the rest of it?
I have found it, Imperial Majesty. I found the Nightingale.
Where is it then?
Where is it? Where's the Nightingale, dear Imperial Majesty? I have found the Nightingale. Find the Nightingale. Punch in the stomach. Your Imperial Majesty. Ah! There is the Nightingale.
Ta-da! On a little bird perch that they already had ready. I guess they knew they were trying to bring it in, so that makes sense why it was there. Who's that dude in the back? Excuse me? Yeah, what do you think, Emperor? The hummingbird worth all the 5-star Yelp reviews it had? There's the kitchen maid watching. Do they really make the black people slaves in this? Like, why are they so racist? Like, what are they so racist for? Why'd you gotta do that? Oh, yeah. It's a little bit weird because it is kind of hard to really separate the birds' music out from the rest of the music.
Reward you. You may have my golden slipper to wear around your neck
What a weird thing to offer.
I have been rewarded enough.
Thank you.
I
No.
have seen tears in the Emperor's eyes. For me, that is the richest treasure.
That's a cute thing to say.
Very well, little bird.
The Emperor's gonna eat that right up.
How can I reward you then?
Perhaps you could give something to everyone else.
Prime Minister, you may open the treasury, give everyone in my kingdom a ruby in honor of this remarkable bird.
Oh, ruby.
It's just made the Emperor so happy.
How many rubies do you have?
We may not have that many rubies.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Wait, just emeralds or a mix of rubies and emeralds? Like rubies, but then until you run out of rubies. And do you actually want to run out of rubies? Like, do you want it to be like half rubies, half emeralds, half like sapphires or whatever, you know, maybe sapphires, and like leave a little remainder of each of them?
Most gracious Imperial Majesty.
It's warning in all cafe. That's
So
the
it is.
title.
Give me a song, little bird. So many different songs, each more ravishing than the last.
Ravishing? I don't know, man.
I think I'll share it with the public this coming Sunday.
Sing, little Nightingale.
It's very nice of him to share the Nightingale with the public, but on the other hand, like, you know,
More beautiful than tinkling bells.
the Nightingale's not an object. What is that guy's deal? Oh, gardener man.
I'm definitely getting the hang of it. Listen.
Girl. What?
That's remarkable. Now, listen to me.
Yeah, you need to practice more. Have they considered like just straight up singing? Maybe.
I have the name all picked out. If it's a girl, we shall call her Nightingale.
And if
Pretty.
it's a boy, we shall call him
Nightingale.
Nightingale.
Clever indeed.
The gender neutral name, really.
Or is it more like...
No, definitely not that.
It's never the same song twice. The troublesome bird.
You can maybe ask
The
the bird for
Emperor of
help.
all Cathay will now address the court.
Why is the Prime
My dear
Minister like
subjects,
less happy than
not
normal?
only is all well in our vast and glorious
Not that he's
empire,
usually happy, but
but
he's
our dear
like
little Nightingale
distinctly unhappy. Yeah, look at
has
this.
made
Look
us
at
more
this.
content than ever.
That headdress is scary.
Your Imperial Majesty, a gift from the Emperor of Japan.
Ooh, from Japan.
Must be some new books about our famous bird. Let's open it.
Place the lid on the box. What a treasure, Your Grace.
This is the only one of its kind.
Rubies.
Emeralds, too.
Clockwork mechanical bird, Your Imperial Majesty.
Clockwork bird.
Music master, why don't you wind it up?
cute.
Musically speaking, this new bird keeps perfect time, not like...
From now on,
Well, what do you mean not like the other one? You don't even know the songs the other one's singing. How do you know if it's keeping
Nightingale
perfect
Briggers.
time?
Now, both birds might sing at once, a duet, as it were.
That's a good idea. Ready yourself, little bird.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and...
Nightingale, stop screwing up. Do you know what the song is? You just heard it. It's the same song. What are you singing something else for? You don't know how to do duets? Has the nightingale never had a friend?
It's not the new bird's fault, Your Grace. She sings like clockwork, while that one sings whatever she pleases.
The music master is just
You
so
one is
petty.
so much prettier to look at.
They're so mad that they can't write down all the Nightingale songs.
Sapphires. Such a delicate shade of blue. But we must be fair. Let us hear our old bird once again.
It's flown away.
Yeah, the old bird says, screw you.
What's the meaning of this?
And
F
without
this.
anything, a thank you. What manners? Ungrateful creature.
We still
It was doing you a
better
favor.
one, Your Imperial Majesty.
My thoughts precisely. That bird was so ordinary.
If I may say so, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, Your
They only
Imperial
look
Majesty,
ordinary, guys.
with the
Not
real
just what things
Nightingale,
look
there was
like.
no telling what song she might sing, but
I mean,
with
that
the
is true.
artificial bird, one song will be heard and no other.
Yeah, but that's kind of a
Frankly,
bummer.
Your Imperial Majesty, I never trusted that other bird when
And
she
I'm someone
said
who
your
likes to listen to
tears were
songs on
reward enough.
repeat.
She was just trying to flatter you. But I saw through it.
So what?
I
Are
declare
you not trying to
that
flatter
from this time forth,
the Emperor?
the old Nightingale will be banished from my porcelain palace forever.
Fine. It was happy not being there to begin with. It was happy being out in the woods. Again, it was doing you a favor. It is a pretty song, though. Enjoying your hookah? They said this is Asia. I'm not sure I'm very convinced by the costumes in this. You're not allowed to whistle?
The Emperor commands you to sing the song of the Nightingale.
Well, Your Highness, just do it.
It's pretty good. I cannot whistle like that. I actually can't whistle very good anymore. I used to be able to whistle, not like a song, but I could have like a couple different pitches, you know? But now I'm not very good at whistling.
Very good. Now,
Really hard for me to whistle
sing me
even
the
one
song of
note
the real
anymore these
Nightingale.
days.
Well, forgive me, Your Honor, but I can't.
You can't whistle in
It was
general.
always different and impossible
Yeah, I can't
to
snap.
imitate.
I can't really snap. Every once in a while I get a good snap
I shall
out,
give you the
but I
title
normally
of
can't. Which is why I hate at work instead of clapping when people are like, snaps
Imperial
everyone. I'm
Mimic of
like,
the
I
Clockwork
can't do
Bird.
it. This is ableist. I'm joking, it's not ableist,
Sing,
but
Faerie.
kind of is a little bit. In a very broad general sense. Not everyone can do it. And they're like, snaps, everyone snap. Instead of clapping, it's disruptive. Let's snap to show our approval. And I'm like, I can't.
Doctor! Get the doctor!
It's a mechanical bird.
Get the doctor at once!
Ah, rosebud tea. 11 cups of it.
Not me, you fool, the bird.
Your Imperial Grace, I can't be of use here. Perhaps I should summon the watchmaker.
Do they not understand?
Could it be that I bagged the wrong bird?
Yeah, I think you did, buddy. I don't know how you could have made that mistake.
Oh, forgive me, Your Grace.
But why?
For gazing up at you. I didn't see your banners or your servants, and so I didn't dream I was going to see you. I'm going to be punched in the stomach for sure.
What is all this punch in the
dear.
stomach talk? That's so
Well,
strange.
Since I am Emperor of all Cathay, to do these things at will, I'll give you special dispensation. You may look at me.
Whoa. Special
No
treatment.
stomach punching, I promise.
Not a single stomach punch, not even a little for fun.
How long have you been working in the palace?
Since I was a child.
How come I haven't seen you before then?
Stomach punching sounds like interesting punishment. Yeah,
Because
it definitely.
kitchen maid is never allowed to come near the Emperor.
I wonder if they had something like even more racist
about
as a punishment, and then they were told to be like, nah, change that.
Lately was I
Or maybe it was just more like violent,
Oh, really?
and they were
I
like,
don't
no, you have to change us. And they were
His
like,
Excellency,
okay,
the Prime
stomach punch,
Minister,
because it sounds like a
granted me this
replacement, you know?
great favor and
Like,
gratitude for leading him to the Nightingale.
you know, I don't know,
then.
like, instead of an actual swear word, you're like, oh, butter sticks, you know, like,
I'm sorry she didn't please
like
you.
what, you know?
It
Kind
had
of
to
like
be
that.
banished.
And they're gonna give you a stomach punch. They're like, what do kids talk about in the 80s? That's acceptable levels of violence. I know, a stomach punch.
Chill.
Oh
Your
no,
Majesty, accept my shawl.
he's chilly. Your shawl's not going to do a lot of good, girl. I'm so sorry. It's kind of like tattered.
It's cozy and warm, the shore.
That's nice
my mother
that
made
you
it
think
for me.
so. Oh, I'm sorry to insult your
Mother.
mother's shawl.
You don't look so well. Perhaps I should call your servants.
No, I'd rather sit alone for a while.
Yes. Yes, it's like that sometimes.
It is like that sometimes, isn't it?
Should I go now, Your Grace?
You make sure you give her shawl back. That's her mother's.
Wish you a good evening.
Yes.
He really could just say you too, but he didn't. Beautiful hair.
The Emperor has been stricken. The Imperial doctors are with him.
stricken.
Inform the ladies and gentlemen of the court.
Oh no.
The Emperor has been stricken. The Imperial doctors are with
Why is
him
the
now.
Master of Music making
We
this
are to wait
announcement
here.
and not the Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister shall rule on matters of state.
And you're gonna rule matters of music? They don't need to be so dramatic. I don't know if things are looking grim for the Emperor. Why is this shot so wide angle? Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, our beloved Emperor, ruler of all Cathay, is gravely ill. The doctors expect him to live but a short while.
Sounded like a laugh.
I have composed a brilliant funeral dirge.
It is our sad duty in these next days to select a successor to our beloved Emperor.
I think it should be that gardener.
A brilliant funeral dirge. And a glorious inaugural anthem.
He's crying, but like, you just had one little conversation with him. You don't need to cry over it like that. It's fine. I forgot about that, dude. What the fuck? Having late dinner with your family. Okay, well, enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, this guy's a little... Oh, I think this is why I thought that hat was scary when I saw him wear it earlier.
No. Go away. You've come too soon.
Sleep paralysis demon.
They all say that. But you know what I say? Never too soon.
Okay, the Prime Minister can't see him.
It is getting close to the end. Let his final moments be peaceful and quiet.
The music is so
Unless he
ominous.
calls, no one is to bother him.
Has a new emperor been chosen?
It's a great responsibility.
The new emperor must be Cathayan and young so that he may rule all Cathay for many years.
Totally agree. But not too young. LCB hot-blooded and foolish.
Will our new emperor be handsome and fine?
Certainly. But not too handsome and fine. Else he spend his whole day looking in the mirror. Not pay
Like the evil
attention
queen.
to the lovely ladies and gentlemen of the court.
A good point.
See, Faerie. Little kitchen maid. Would also like to know about the new emperor.
Oh, no.
No, she wants to know about the old emperor.
I would know of the old emperor.
Yeah.
Well, he is dying. That's all.
The chamber servants say he tosses and turns and that no one stays to comfort him in his last hours.
And who pray be grand enough, great enough to solace our great emperor.
I don't know, better than a sleep paralysis demon, that's for sure.
Besides, he will not make it through the night.
I like how the caption said you will not make it through the night and they turned it into a threat.
Primrose! Pansy, where
Oh,
are
she's
you?
trying to find
Help me!
ginseng for him.
Our emperor is gravely ill.
I don't know if ginseng is gonna cut it. Yeah, the captions do really add something.
Little Nightingale,
Take your time, little kitchen maid.
you remember me?
Certainly. And how fares our emperor?
He is dying. That is what I came to
The
tell you.
captions are just trying their
Sad
hardest.
news. But why have you come all this way to tell me?
Because only you can comfort him in his last hours on earth. It breaks my heart that he must die all alone.
Don't weep, little maid. I will gladly sing for the emperor tonight.
Please hurry, little Nightingale. There's not much time left.
The Nightingale's gonna sing at the Emperor's deathbed to honor him.
Goody.
You love the Nightingale?
Oh, poor bad cheeks.
I agree, Emperor, I agree. Yeah, what, right? What the heck? I don't blame him. I'd also look like that.
I don't want to hear it.
Not the sword. It doesn't even look sharp. It looks like rusted. Even death is transfixed by the Nightingale's song.
Keep on. Keep on.
If you'll give me the jeweled sword.
Or you can't hold it though, Nightingale. Your hands are too small. You don't even have hands. Your feet are too small.
Sing. Why do you stop?
First, I must have the golden crown.
What? What's the significance of taking the... What is the significance of this crown? And, like, why? I see the sword. Death was like gonna kill the emperor with the sword, but why the crown?
Keep on. Keep on.
The nightingale sang about a quiet churchyard where the white roses grow, and where the elder trees scent the air.
There have been words this
where
whole
the fresh
time?
grass is watered with the tears of those who grieve.
Is the bird robbing him? Yeah.
It's my garden you sing of. Oh, and I'm filled with a longing for it.
It's Death's garden. How does the hummingbird know about it? Hummingbirds truly are magical. Whoa. Why is everything shaking?
Thank you, little nightingale. I have driven you from my palace and banished you. Still you have driven the evil visions away from my bed and removed death from my heart. How can I ever reward you?
I received tears from your eyes the first time I sang for you. I'll never forget that. But it was the little kitchen maid who summoned me to your bed. It is she who should be rewarded. But sleep now, my emperor, so you become well and strong, and I shall sing for you.
Nightingale's kind of OP when you think about it. Way better than the ginseng. Good morning, Emperor. Wakey, wakey. You feel better?
Good morning, Emperor. How do you feel today?
I feel fine. In fact, I feel splendid.
Wow.
I shall break that clockwork bird into 1,000 pieces.
Oh,
no. It has done what it could.
Yeah, it tried its best.
Before.
But you must always stay with me. You must never leave my side. And furthermore... Oh, there I go again. Would you stay? You shall sing only when you like.
No. Let me come and go as I
No.
please. I will sing to you of
It should just
all
ended
good
no and then flown
or
off.
bad which is kept from you. For I love your heart better than your crown. Yet
What a cute thing to say.
one thing you must promise me.
Anything.
Let no one know that you have a little bird who tells you everything. Then all will
Trying to
go
get
well
all the
with
juicy
your kingdom.
gossip. Princess Nemo's pet. No, Bird is gonna be a
Ladies and
snitch.
gentlemen of the court, the funeral will begin promptly at 1.
Whoa.
The master of imperial music,
They're already scheduling the funeral.
a lengthy dirge.
You guys are
Lengthy.
insane.
But since it memorializes our beloved emperor, no dirge could be too long.
A funeral feast of splendid
What a weird thing.
is being prepared in the great kitchen.
Make a long dirge. It'd be like, nah, you people are gonna listen to
In
it.
what order shall we march? Do we have a new emperor?
Yeah.
I was just coming to that.
Bro, your dress is puffing up weird.
Good morning.
Good morning. Awkward. You'd think they'd check and make sure he actually died.
And so, with the help of the wise little nightingale and the loving kitchen maid, the emperor ruled all of Cathay for a very long time. And all his subjects, be they
He and the
exalted
kitchen
members
maid
of
get
the
married.
court or humble peasants, came to know and love him for his generous spirit and his
Because they don't
kind
feel
heart.
like they're the same age. Okay, it just never said it. It just kind of vaguely implied it. Whatever the doot 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 part is in the background, I like that part. Okay. Assistant hairstylist, clap, Claude Diaz, yay! 75 for not checking the Emperor. I think the people who were kind of like, honestly, that should have been the prime minister to do that. Like, he should have overseen that personally, because like he can't trust anyone else, you know? Like, if he's trying to take over, like that's too big of a thing to trust to someone else. He should have personally seen the Emperor's cold dead body, but he didn't. He's also one of the only people who has easy access to the Emperor to even check. Like, yeah. Anyway, so these were some examples of fairy tale theater. There are others. Let me see actually. Hold on. These didn't have the theme song. I'm going to try and find the opening credits. Fairy tale theater song. Opening. Fairy tale theater intro. Oh, do we have okay, yeah, here. We're gonna okay. Here's the opening credits. Because they show a lot of the other ones that exist. This is also a Cinderella, but we're not gonna watch Cinderella. We're gonna watch the apparently it's high quality. But we're just gonna watch for the opening credits, but we saw Snow White, there's Pinocchio, and I don't know, General Lafayette, Red Riding Hood, Robin Williams, Pigs, Snow White again, Puss in Boots, Severus Snape, Snow Queen, Beauty and the Beast, the Dwarfs, Princess of the Pea, I think, Goldilocks, Snow White again. Okay, yeah, I think that's just from like the first handful of ones that exist. But yeah, a lot of those I've never seen. I just remember in particular that Pinocchio one. But I've never seen it. I only know it from the opening. But I've never actually like seen the actual thing. But yeah. I quite oops, there we go. I quite enjoy them. I think at least these two, but again, like they have a lot of fairy tales that like aren't done, like Puss in Boots and stuff like that. And I like these. I really like the story of the Emperor and the Nightingale. I think is really pretty story, and I like how it's kind of spooky and eerie, kind of, and kind of dark. Um, I like that. Sometimes it's hard to get a good like, because a lot of these fairy tales, especially Grimm's fairy tales, but also the others are really dark. But Disney kind of like brightens them up a little bit. Makes them a little more cheery, a little bit more positive, a little bit more child friendly. But the Emperor the Nightingale, like I feel like besides the punching people in the stomachs thing, I should start doing that. Chat better behave, or else I'm gonna punch you in the stomach. It's gonna be my new threat. Um, we have new memes. Okay, community memes came from today. We have I'm gonna punch you in the stomach, or else I'll punch you in the stomach, as well as I'm gonna continue on with that's a stupid assumption, Bubba, because I like it. So they're really starting to grow on you at the end. Yeah, yeah. it's got good vibes. Like you don't really see that type of like it has a very like it's very atmospheric, you know? And it has a kind of good story, you know, like with the um and it's kind of like a little bit deeper too because like it doesn't bring it to a head here in like the way they tell it, but you kind of know part of it is also like the nightingale because I think maybe in the original version there's something wrong with the nightingale when like the emperor like cages the nightingale and it like doesn't sing as nice when it's in the palace and that's part of the problem. I think that's why they get the mechanical one because the nightingale like doesn't do as well or something like that. I don't know. Um I kind of forget the details of the original, but that's like part of it, I think. And they did hint on it here where the nightingale's like, well, the song is better out in the open air rather than inside the palace. But yeah, so I really like it. I just like the atmosphere of it and I like that it's very eerie. I like that it's very dark. Has a really lot of dark themes to it. And yeah, you know, and it might not be accurate for Asian cultural representation, but the vibes are there. And when you're a small child, you don't know the difference. And, you know, you just appreciate, you only get the vibes anyway. You don't notice any details. So, you know, it's not like I felt like it misinformed me. It just like, not to make excuses, but like, it did, when I was little, it did a good job. You know, it told a nice story. That is a, you know, Chinese fairy tale. Um, and it gave me an idea of like Asian vibes. And you know, I don't know. I appreciated it. I kind of liked it. It helps you appreciate, you know, things. So, I don't know. I like it. I have a soft spot in my heart for that one. Um and I just like I was kind of spooky and dark themes, I guess. Um but Snow White one was also I really like too. Um it's kind of like Mm, it's kind of bright and colorful and things, but uh it actually like less dark than Disney's Snow White, to be completely honest. Um, but I think it just told the story better. And like did better with characters and stuff and all that type. I don't know. But I really like them. Others, like I said, like Puss in Boots is good, 12 Dancing Princesses is good. Um, because I think there's another one, 12 Dancing Princess or the Dancing Princesses story. Uh, but I think in the other one like an animated version of the Dancing Princesses. Um, I don't know. I forget where we got the tape from, but it was like some video that had like 3 stories on it. It was like cartoon, 3 cartoons, and one of them was the Dancing Princesses, but they didn't have 12. They only had 3 dancing princesses in that one because I guess they didn't feel like animating 12 or like distinguishing 12 characters. But this one did the 12 dancing princesses and like they had 12 dancing princesses and their bedroom looked cool too, which is the thing. They had like beds like set into the wall and alcoves and their room was circular. That I remember. um but yeah, but and oh, and their dresses, they all have like a different color dress and stuff too. Maybe sometime in the future we'll watch that because that one I really like too. Um, but and they have all of them. I kind of want to see the one with Robin Williams is like my favorite actor, so I really would love to see um the one with Robin Williams in it because I've never seen that one before for sure. Some of them like it's hard for me to remember because I saw that like there was a brief instance of the Cinderella one in that like opening theme. And it somehow felt familiar to me, but I don't think we had Cinderella. So I don't know why it was familiar, but maybe we had it and it just wasn't as good or as memorable. I don't know. But but yeah, there's like you know a bunch of others too that like again there aren't Disney movies for and I mean I guess like I was like Jack and the Beanstalk, but it's not like there's never a Jack and the Beanstalk. Like there's literally a Disney Jack and the Beanstalk with Mickey Mouse. Even if there's not like, you know, a full feature length animated film, but yeah, I really like these. I think they're done well is not always the right term, but I think they're they're valuable art, I guess. I don't know what to I don't know. I like them. I guess that's all I can say. And I definitely think the Snow White one is better than most Snow White remakes. And that's why anytime they do a remake and and like you have like Rachel Zegler who's like, "Oh, I don't like Snow White. I don't like her. I don't like her character. She needs to be strong and save herself, blah blah blah." I'm like, mm, mm, I don't know. I kind of yeah, the Snow White one you liked. Yeah, I kind of like see Snow White and I'm like, "See, this is my Snow White." Rachel Zegler's up there being like, "No, I don't like Snow White. She's just too girly. She needs to save herself." And I'm like, I don't know. My Snow White was perfectly fine at being girly, but also not like, misogynistic or anything. I don't know. I like my Snow White. Miss Rachel Zegler, you have to live up to my Snow White. I don't think she did. I didn't watch the movie, but just from the way she talked about it, it didn't seem like it. And a lot of people are like, well, look, it's a live action Snow White. We've had other Snow Whites. I'm like, yeah, but none of them have been better than my Snow White. That I think keeps the character kind of innocent and kind and gentle, but doesn't make her seem too weak or anything like that. And I really like that. She feels very real, as like a real um type of character, I guess, like a real person. Obviously she's not a real person, but you know. She feels believable as like a human being. Um and kind of relatable in some aspects. Especially to like a kid, who's like thinking on like what's it like to live in a palace, and I like that too, the conversation with the dwarves and the way the dwarves, see her and they're like, I bet she's a princess. Like it's very much the way kids talk and think, right? So it's like you can see how it's very much made for children. And I like that, like it is a fairy tale. So, you know. But yeah, so these are my two favorites from the fairy tale theater. Thanks. Again, there are a few others that I watched. I think we had 6 in total. We had like I think 2 VHS tapes and each had 3 on them, I think. Um, we had Puss in Boots, 12 Dancing Princesses, and 2 more, and I don't remember what the other 2 were. Um, I think I would recognize them if I saw them. I think. But not even by name because I looked down through like the playlist and I'm like, I don't exactly remember which ones we had. But yeah. So I think we had this. We might have had the Three Little Pigs. I for some reason feel like that was on the Puss in Boots one, but I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah. But anyway, so that's Fairy Tale Theater. I really like them. Um, and they make me happy, and I think they're I don't know, well done for what they are. So, good job, Shelley Duvall. Also, R.I.P. I think she's dead, right? So, hey Hubert, we're just ending, but thanks for being here. Be 100% down to watch more. Yeah. So we might some point in future. It'll probably be a while. We have so much other stuff to do, but yeah, I know, kind of a shorter stream today. 'Cause I don't want to watch too many of these like in one go because I do feel kind of bad because I don't want to be like, stealing stuff. Even though, like I said, it feels kind of weird because if we're like just reacting to it, I don't make it full screen or anything, and I'm talking over it, and the quality's just so freaking bad, man. Like it's just, well, it's not like, come on, let's be real. I don't know that you can find them anywhere. It's not like you can like order them, I don't think. So, yeah, 2 at a time seems good. Yeah. One more, it would just feel like it'd kind of be, too long to watch, I think. Because they're each like 50 minutes and that's plenty. Two is plenty. That's like a normal, feature length movie for a theater is like about 2 hours. So, but yeah. Okay, so I might stream sometime during the day tomorrow, maybe. I'm not really sure. We'll see what I'm feeling like. What the vibes are. Um, I don't think in like the morning. Um, like not super early, but maybe like 10 a.m. my time. Or because I have some stuff I want to do. I want to wake up and then do some stuff in the morning. But maybe like 10 or noon or something. I don't know. I want to play some more Medieval Dynasty. Like I said, I kind of usually when I have breaks from work, I usually spend a day like binge playing something. Um, and to kind of like be a bit of a uh like palate cleanser kind of from work, and then like I can kind of focus on the other projects I have and stuff. um and I usually do Medieval Dynasty, but like I kind of don't want to start a new file or get reinvested in another file I have from off stream when like on my other account, when I'm so heavily invested in the one on stream. So I feel like I should probably just stream and play it, and just have like I don't know, a long stream, kind of chill, take a lot of breaks and stuff, since it's a bonus stream anyway. But maybe not. We'll see how I'm feeling, because I might want to like just read or something like that, or maybe I'll be feeling particularly productive and I want to actually do work. But I'll definitely be back Tuesday night as usual around 5 o'clock Pacific, and I will be doing probably more Medieval Dynasty, because I kind of want to work through. We want to make progress in that game, because I want to kind of get through it, at least to a point where I feel like we've reached a satisfying point to stop for the time being. Again, we can play it infinitely, so I might pull it up again in future. It's definitely something that's on the table for any if I ever get to the point where I do subathons. You can bet I'm gonna pull out Medieval Dynasty, because again, it's a game I can play for long periods of time very easily. So I would probably do that for some type of subathon or something if I were having that, or any sort of like really long stream. I'm probably gonna like target games like that. But yeah, so we'll probably do more of that on Tuesday. Maybe tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. And then Thursday, I don't know about Thursday yet. Maybe more Medieval Dynasty, but might want to try and mix it up. Start, introducing some other games into the mix. I don't know what. I don't know. I feel like there's so many things I want to play. Um, and I guess we'll see. Not for this week, but eventually here, I guess probably in 2 weeks, it's gonna be the Steam summer sale. So we'll see what games are available. Because I really actually I've been like earlier in the week, or like last weekend or something, Lies of P was on sale. What games do I vibe with? Oh, a lot of games. Like I said, I've been looking at Lies of P for a while. But that's one I haven't bought yet. I do have I'm kind of thinking like, like longer type of games, like meatier games. I have a lot of kind of smaller games. It would be like 3-4 streams to choose from. But kind of thinking meatier games, meatier, not meteor, like a meteorite, but meaty, hearty. Um, but I do have uh yeah, Pacific Drive that I wanted to play. I've had that for like a year. Um, as a P is fun, certain parts are a bit difficult. Hmm. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the way things are. Um, but hmm, sorry, just kind of looking through. Oh, I'd like to do Until Dawn at some point in time, but that might be one I'd be looking at for the summer sale if it's cheap enough. Let's see. Like I said, Lies of P would be good. Honestly, uh like an Elden Ring game, I wouldn't say no to. Not the latest release, but the previous one. Um, just because like I don't know. I'm in the mood for like that sort of game. I was also thinking what was that? What was I thinking? I'm trying to remember even what it was. Yeah, Until Dawn will be fun. Yeah, because they only released, it wasn't on a Souls game in general. Yeah, like I'm kind of feeling that sort of vibe. Or like, I don't know. Like, yeah, like I was really feeling. Actually, this might be the best price we want to get. I'm really feeling like, I guess because I saw the trailer for the new uh Silent Hill game. And which no, all the games. Okay, so the new Resident Evil looks good too. The new Silent Hill also looks good. I've never played a Silent Hill game, including PT, which of course is not available anymore, which is a shame because it's like a lot of people's favorite horror. But I don't know. I saw it. I'm kind of surprised how many people like it. I watched the Game Grumps play it. I specifically remember. I've seen that VOD, but like, or Let's Play. What am I saying? Their YouTube video on it. But and I think I've seen someone else play it before, maybe like Markiplier or someone. So I'm familiar with PT, but I'm kind of surprised that but I think I've played so many games that are like PT that like when I see it I'm like, oh well, it's doesn't feel as unique maybe, but Dark Souls 1 is good, it's just a bit janky. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of just kind of like a lot of these for like the vibes. I want to like kind of just like walk around and kill some things and be in a vibey place. Nothing too puzzle heavy. Not really. I don't really want to. I feel like I've been playing a lot of like puzzle heavy games. And I kind of am not feeling the puzzles. I want something a little bit lighter on the puzzles, more me walking around and killing enemies uh in a place that I can really vibe in, you know? And so that's why something like uh Silent Hill 2 is really the remake here is appealing to me. It's $42 right now. It's 40% off. But I feel like we still might see better in the Steam summer sale. I'm tempted to hold out, but it isn't puzzle heavy, it's very fighting enemies. Okay, good. That's what I feel like. Or like mm, now I played some of this like yeah, like or like a like FPS kind of like Fallout games as well. But ooh, hold on. I don't think I saw this. Oh, okay. Sorry. I saw the Steam page for Grave Seasons and I needed to put that on my wish list. I was like, I've only seen this talked about on Twitter and TikTok. I have not seen the store page for Grave Seasons yet. So I was like, must put on wish list. must put on wish list. I don't know if you've heard about Grave Seasons. It's like a kind of like a Stardew Valley type of, like a little farming sim game, but it's also a murder mystery. So, uh yeah, it's a narrative farming sim with a terrifying twist. Someone in the town is a supernatural serial killer. Farm, romance, and investigate your way through the unsettling town of Ashen Ridge. And I love that idea. I love it's like farming sim, romance, crafting game, but there's a supernatural serial killer and you have to solve the crime. I'm like, yes, thank you. That is a twist I needed. It's kind of like Graveyard Keeper, but like a little like less specifically about, the spooky stuff. Like not 100% spooky. It's normal with spooky added, which is cool, but yeah, it's not out yet. But like I said, I wanted to make sure I put it on my wish list so I don't forget about it. Tales of the Shire comes out the end of July as well. I was talking with my brother about that. I was like, why not Hobbit Day if they just had held off until September? But I don't know. I guess they wanted to do it into July. I don't know. But yeah. um Yeah, see, I really like the Liza P environment though, and the vibes, and of course it just came out with a DLC, so like people are like hyped to get it. It was really cheap, like last weekend, but I didn't take the opportunity to get it. Um, yeah, Fallout, Silent Hill. Um, yeah, like that sort of game. It's kind of what I'm feeling. And a lot of them I haven't tried, so like I kind of uh which Fallout. Oh, I have. I mean, I would be down for any Fallout kind of really maybe. I have the one yeah, Fallout 4 is the one I have. But like I don't know, I kind of got what I was well into the game on my previous because I played it back in 2016. And I was well into the game on my previous account when I streamed from before when I was a face cam streamer. Um like I said, I played it like way back in 2016. So it's not like I remember everything. I played it a little bit at the beginning, like, or not the beginning, but like, well, I guess kind of beginning of last summer off stream, like on my own. But I like, I don't know, it feel weird going back through it on stream just because like I was like, I don't know, maybe like halfway through the game. So it kind of, I mean, there's so much to explore around in that world, but I was well into the game, so was the one you played the least. It was fun though. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get into them until like around the time that one came out, so that's why like I picked that one up because that's the one that everyone was playing. But the general consensus is that New Vegas is the best. So but I don't have it. You see, so if I'm trying to save some monies, playing Fallout 4 that I actually have would make the most sense. But I could also play a bunch of other sorts of games that I have that I've never played. Because I have a bunch of like I have the BioShocks, 1, 2, and Infinite. I played some of BioShock 1, I think. I think I started with the first one. The New Vegas and its DLC are the best story wise. Yeah, that's what everyone just really likes New Vegas from what I've seen. So I had the BioShocks. I have first 2 Witcher games. I have um and of course I'm more like at Amnesia. I'm looking way back in my old games here. Oh right, I wanted to play The Walking Dead sometime this summer on stream again. I mean, I already, have played it before, but I'm playing it again for stream because I want to play the other Walking Dead games that I haven't played. I other Amnesia game. What else? Hmm. I know I should have Assassin's Creed games. A couple of them, I believe. Yeah, the Telltale one. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I have the BioShock remasters as well. 1, 2. Okay. Right. I for some reason I wasn't sure if I had the remastered versions or not, but I do. Okay. That's good. Um. I feel like I'm like skipping over some that I have that my eye just isn't catching. Oh, I have a Plague Tale. Fascinating. A lot of these I've picked up on Steam sales before when they were just really good deals, and I kind of forgot that I had them. And I've just never played through them. Because a lot of them, the bigger ones, like sometimes they are a little bit ambitious for my computer, but I'm like, but eventually, my tech will catch up. um, oh, I have the Quarry as well. Hmm. Oh, and then I have some games that are like kind of crafty games, kind of like in the like RPG survival crafting type of stuff, very similar to not very similar, but kind of in the same vein as like um uh the medieval dynasty, like Nightingale. Speaking of Nightingales, and Enshrouded. I have those, but those aren't really the ones I'm in the mood for playing because I kind of like am kind of out, I've medieval dynastied myself out of that particular uh that particular uh desire. Oh, Strange Horticulture is getting a sequel, which, by the way, I don't know if people know, but Strange Horticulture was the first game I streamed as a VTuber. And there's not very many clips of it because I forgot to export my at the time I didn't realize you can export them straight to YouTube if you could at that point. I think you probably could. 20 in this would have been January 2023 by this point. But I didn't realize you can export them straight to YouTube, so I was like downloading my VODs and I was kind of reluctant to download them, and I thought I had 2 weeks because when I like ended on my last, on my previous Twitch account, like I was affiliate, so I didn't realize how long like non-affiliates had with their VODs, and I thought it was 2 weeks, but I think it's just 1 week. And I didn't realize that. I thought it was 2 weeks. So the VOD, my first 2 VODs were not saved. But I do have the last 2 VODs of Strange Horticulture. But I don't but I don't have them up because I was like, well, the first 2 aren't up. So like how could you follow the plot? So the different storylines. So I don't have them up, but I do have them on my YouTube. So yeah, but Strange Horticulture. And there was like no one, they're kind of like super secret because like there were very few people in those streams. Those were my like one viewer, and it's me for 2 hours at a time streams when I was just starting this account. So people really haven't seen those me play that game. That's super super secret stuff. But Strange Horticulture is getting a sequel called like Strange Antiquities or something, so I'm excited about that for whenever that does come out. But yeah. Uh yeah, I don't have any um mm, yeah, I don't really know. I'm in like a mood right now where I don't know what games I want to play. Like sometimes you're in a mood and you want to like play everything, which was the case for me like maybe a month ago. I was like, which game to play? There's so many I want to play. But now I'm like, none of them quite hit right. You had a Heinz ketchup ad. Yeah. Well, it could be worse. Could be worse. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what games are on sale during the summer sale. And that will probably affect my choices, I think. But I don't know. I don't know what I feel like playing. Mm, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really vibe with most of the things I have kind of in my immediate library, but anyway. All right. I think that's it for this stream. I'm gonna go. Like I said, I'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see. But definitely on Tuesday for Medieval Dynasty. Either way, it'll be Medieval Dynasty. And yeah, and Thursday, on Thursday, I don't know what I'll be doing. Basically, definitely normal schedule still. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and Saturday. Spooky Saturday, of course, its own kind of special little thing. Other streams are on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at like 5 or so. But I'll probably be streaming randomly some other times. the schedule still keeps as normal. All the others are just extra bonus streams for whenever the heck I feel like playing things. And maybe they won't always be long streams. I don't know. There's gonna be kind of like little like rogue streams, Um, who knows? Who knows when they'll be, what they'll be? I don't know. Just when I feel like it. And again, like they might be short. It might just be for an hour because maybe I don't want to like full long stream commitment or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But because sometimes it's like, oh, I want to stream, but ooh, do I really want to sit down for like 4 hours? Do I really want to, spend like an entire portion of my day on this right now? And sometimes I might be like, no, I'd be down for like an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours, but I don't know if I want to go for like 4 hours, 3, 4 hours. And so then I'm like, nah, I'm not going to, but maybe I will. If it's just like 1 to 2 hours, I'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. The bonus stream, you can't complain if it's a bonus, because it's more, anything above 0 is, net gain, really, for bonus streams. So, as far as I'm concerned, as far as anyone's concerned, that's just how it works. But yeah, so maybe tomorrow sometime, maybe I have other, like, not early in the morning, because I do have other stuff I want to get done, earlier in the day, but, maybe sometime later morning or afternoonish or something. I might stream some. So anyway, I'm gonna go. I want to go and read actually. I'm still like in the kind of cool down from work type of mindset, right? Like trying to reset my brain before I like get really productive for summer, and like work on learning game development stuff and writing and like really lock in. But before I lock in, I'm trying to like, give myself a little break, because if you don't give yourself a little break, you'll burn out. And that's bad. So I'm trying to like, calm down. I'm not very good at being relaxed and like, you know, being chill. Like properly. Sometimes if I'm not productive enough, I'll kind of like do that like freeze where like you're not productive, but you're not even like productively doing anything else. I'll just kind of like doom scroll for like 4 hours because I'm like, oh well, I didn't get enough writing done today, or I'm like avoiding writing because I'm feeling burned out, so I'm just gonna scroll on the internet for a long time, or whatever else. So yeah, relaxing takes effort, exactly. And it's just you have to like slow yourself down, basically. You can't come to a sudden stop, but because you have to like readjust your expectations, because that's the problem is like if I have high expectations that I can't meet, I'll be like, "Oh, well, let me just give up on literally everything." So, you have to like slow down and in order to like reset, recalibrate basically your expectations. And then, like you just have to make yourself go at a different pace. And that can be kind of hard because like again, like if you do a sudden stop, then you'll fall flat on your face. So you just need to slow down, cool down. And that's what like doing a cool down if you're exercising or something. So um I need to cool down from work and then warm up before doing other, productive stuff towards my own projects. So that's what I'm in the process of right now, and it's an important thing to do. And I'm even telling myself that now because I feel kind of bad that I'm not like diving right into my other projects, but you don't want burnout. Burnout's bad, and it's really easy to do. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks for hanging out, everyone, for on stream today. Thank you for anyone who was chatting. Thank you for everyone lurking, and thank you, future VOD watchers, as well. Appreciate having everyone here watching these little videos with me that I enjoy. All these little fairy tales. 2 of them, all of these fairy tales, all 2 of them that we watched. But I really like them, and so I'm glad I got to share them with you guys. And fun little memories to take away because I will be making some references probably in future. So yeah, I'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe on Tuesday. In the meantime, though, you can subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok, and join the Discord. And yeah, that's it for tonight. I'll see you guys later. Have a good evening and a good day and all of that. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.